6:32, Monday the 16th of June. His name is Dunsin Oyekan. It's a really, really great song. I have more than a song today. I've brought more than a song. I brought myself. Romans 12:1-3. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. A living sacrifice. In the past, the sacrifices had to be killed, but in this era, your life must be a sacrifice, something you're willing to die for. Paul says, I die daily. He says, gather my saints together to me, those who have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. Only your sacrifice commits God to act on your behalf. And we need it. We need sacrificial living, sacrificial giving in these days. Everybody wants to get and forget. Nobody wants to give. One of the reasons why we are not making it in this generation is nobody wants to sacrifice. But the price tag of leadership is called sacrifice. To cost you time, to cost you friends, to cost you your comfort. But for the next generation to be better, this generation must sacrifice. Sacrifice the pleasures of today. Sacrifice the comforts. Even the expenditures of today. Sacrifice for a better tomorrow. That's what saving and investment do. So we all need to go back to sacrifice. Not just spiritual, but even sacrificing in the way we prioritize our resources as a people. The price tag of leadership is sacrifice. Only few are prepared to pay the price. That's why there are very few great leaders. Help us, Lord. Business Sense was brought to you by Access Bank. It's ongoing. It's the Fakito Abeji Kesia promo. Deposit up to 500 cedis in your account, and with the chance to win a share of over 500,000 cedis in cash and other amazing rewards like PS5s, iPhones, Chromebooks, and more. Call Access Bank toll free 0800 004400 or go to g.accessbankplc.com. Access Bank, more than banking.
If you have 250 Ghana cedis right now, it can do wonders for you. Chairman, Fabeji, it could turn your tears into joy in the Access Bank Fakitwabeji Kesia promo. Madam, Fabeji, it could get you up to 50,000 Ghana cedis cash prize. Business owner, Fabeji. As a student, make transactions with your Access Bank card, and that could get you Spotify and Netflix subscriptions, PS5, iPhone 16 Pro Max, and more. This be out of class senso. Fabeji, you see what 250 Ghana cedis can do for you? And Kasakra. Fabeji. It's the Access Bank Fakitwabeji Kesia promo. Deposit a minimum of 250 Ghana cedis and its multiples in your new or existing account and be on your way to winning a share of the 580,000 Ghana cedis in cash prizes and other amazing rewards. The more you deposit, the more your chances of winning. Promo runs from now to September 2025. This promo is in partnership with NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Access Bank, more than banking.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
So it's 6:37 and we're jumping into the newspaper review segment. Very rainy morning, actually a very rainy weekend I should say. And the segment is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. Join us at the Wheels and Homes 25, the ultimate fair for everything mortgage and auto. It's happening at the Good Park at the Accra Mall from 19th to 21st June. For those looking for a first home or upgrading their homes, or a first car or upgrading their cars, you could actually get both at this event. Admission is free. Fidelity Bank, believe with us. We're also in the third week of our Citi Business Festival. This week we're focusing on small business. Today we're talking law for business. Oh yes, we call it Law 101 for SMEs. Apparently you need to know the law from the inception to the death of your business. We'll be speaking to Jonathan Amable about that at 9. We're also welcoming you to the Efua Sutherland Children's Park for the much anticipated Agri Fair 2025, starting this Friday all through Sunday. Come and buy farm fresh. Come and buy farm fresh. Fruits and veggies, livestock and poultry, fish, snails, all kinds of things, fresh produce available at the Agri Fair put together by Channel 1 Television with support from Citi FM, sponsored by the Ghana Exim Bank, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, Development Bank Ghana, Agri Impact Limited, and the Horticultural Business Platform. Our tech partner is called Farmerline. All right, so let's go straight into the newspaper. Good morning to you, Richard Sky.
Good morning,
Caleb Kuda.
Good morning,
this weekend, somebody called me and said something so funny.
Oh, okay.
So the person said, how do I translate it in English? Basically, to wait, let my sand turn to Gary and my Gary turn to rice and my rice turn to money.
No,
it was a very powerful thing.
Powerful prayer.
Yes.
Oh wow!
Oh,
I love it.
It was a serious blessing.
Yes,
Oh, I love it.
It was a Father's Day blessing.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
It should transmogrify.
Yeah, man. It's sometimes.
So today I'm looking for my son to become Gary.
It will
You should
happen.
find where sound is first.
And the money becoming good.
It was great. Anyway, happy Father's Day to all of you. It was over the weekend. Lots of big things were done. Lots of things were said. And today is Monday. So
Always on a low key. Not
we are not competing for attention.
Problem.
better call Jesus. The Ghanaian Times says this morning, Black Volta tragedy. 7 Laura Senior High School students drowned. Sad story. And 5 bodies, we are told, have been retrieved thus far. 2 are still missing. Also on the front page this morning, nurses, midwives suspend strike. A belated story. An appeal court orders NHC to re-enter Bonitaki Adamalate II in red register.
Now, Daily Graphic leads with State Media Eye financial relief. Minister appeals to Parliament for tax exemptions. Professor Amma proposes 5 elements to tackle Galamsey. Zoom Lion clarifies status of YEA contract and other stories here as well.
Let me take you to the Chronicle. The big story, Zoom Lion. Year contract expired, not cancelled. Comes with a photograph of Joseph Siao Ejepong. Also the front page, Doomsaw Levy. JM has beaten a shameful retreat. The minority is taking on the administration. And how alleged criminal enterprise looted some 548 million Ghana cedis from NSA.
Daily Guide this morning, Ghana not immune to global challenges. This is President Mahama and top ex-NSA officials hot over 548 million Ghana cedi theft, quote unquote. GRA freezes Doomsaw levy and NDC's Doomsaw levy U-turn is hypocrisy. This is minority, and the story of 7 Laura SHS students drowned in Dikwe River is here as well.
The new publisher says cancel your Doomsaw tax. Minority tells government. The Minister of Energy and Alexander Penyo-Markin make the front page. Also, NLA will fail without KGL. Some of the stories here.
The Inquisitor, sweetheart deal in NSA scandal. Mr. and Mrs. Mensah in trouble. Government postpones D-levy implementation. Zoom Lion's clarification of his status of the YEA contract is here as well. And the Chief of Staff swears a new Maslock board to strengthen support for small businesses.
The Informer comes with a story. Government suspends Doomsaw levy, cites global oil price increase. Also on the front page this morning, corruption fight. GII edges OSP. And Attorney General collaboration. And former MPP aspirant blast Kennedy Ejepong over hypocrisy.
The Ghanaian publisher Minority Slums Doomsaw Levy U10, Israel-Iran conflict, Mahama fears spike in oil prices. The big one here, YEA contract expired, Zoomlion clarifies, that's here as well.
I'll take you to the news center. Fidelity Bank posts 1.21 billion Ghana cedis profit before tax, with some 2.34 billion Ghana cedis operating income in 2024. 7 bodies of the drowned students also make the front page. A very, very heartbreaking
really
story.
troubling story.
Yeah, and illegal Ghanaians in US, Dreamers ban, Dreamers quiz visa ban threat.
Right. So today newspaper charge Eric Nana Nipa and associates with theft and causing financial loss. This is Indum speaking. GES extends school selection deadline and government suspends 1 Ghana cedi levy due to Israel-Iran conflict.
And let me take you to the custodian. Zoomlion contract expired, not terminated. Jospon Group clarifies. Damang Mines agreement requires Parliament's approval, coming in from the minority. And Mustafa Yusuf denies offense in NSS scandal.
So on the BNFT, Ghana Standards Authority cement producers work to reflect cedi gains in pricing, and EcoBank pledges support for government's 24-hour economy. GAX overhaul underway as GSE plans specialized fund for SMEs, and African governance leaders convene in Accra to address challenges.
The final newspaper from me, the Economy Times, says debt securities in Ghana now to be given investment ratings. And the story about the 1 Ghana levy also makes the front page.
I have a few for you. Fuel prices to remain stable despite Israel-Iran war. This is Comac. Yeah, of course. Now, 2 stories that are interesting for me. Government to deploy drip machines for nationwide farm road construction.
Okay.
This is the Agric minister. I'll give you some details about this. Another one, convert abandoned housing projects to business hub. This is Ghana North Edge's government. Another interesting idea. Man drowns in open gutter amid downpour. This is in Kaswa following the weekend's rain. And the minority threatens legal action over unratified Daman mining lease. Now, if you go to Channel 1 News as well, GS has extended the school selection deadline to June 25 to accommodate private schools. Decade-long drainage nightmare in Ablekuma Fan Milk leaves residents stranded. And then a few stories on the running issues. Don't overburden Ghanaians with more taxes at Domako. Meanwhile, Jean Mensah to brief Parliament on Ablekuma North election stalemate. I'll take you to another story I know you'll be interested in. If you go to GNA, VRA is cautioning against farming and building within 280 feet of the Volta Lake contour. Yeah, we need to highlight this because of what happened a couple of years ago. And then BECE candidates or B's attack candidate at exam center in Wa. Charlie, the bees who sent them.
Wild bees.
Yeah. All right. So what I think we should do is let's do a quick overview of the Comac and the fuel stories.
Okay.
And then we'll deal with some other matters.
Okay, so let's take off this morning with a story on page 13.
Yeah, of the Ghanaian Times.
Talking about the suspension of the Doomsaw levy.
Yep.
The story is by Julius Yaupetechi, and it says that the implementation of the Energy Sector Levies Amendment Act of 2025 has been put on hold until further notice, the government has announced. Now, the levy, which imposes 1 Ghana cedis on a litre of diesel and petrol, would only take effect when market conditions are deemed favorable, the government said. Now, the implementation was scheduled to take effect today, Monday, June 16, 2025, after government earlier postponed the implementation date from June 9, 2025. But there's a statement coming in from the GRA that says they intend to postpone it.
Now, there's a very good analysis in the High Street Journal. Israel-Iran conflict. Can Ghana withstand a fuel price shock? Economists flags 3 factors towards. This is Professor William Bob Watson, who we celebrated last week for his birthday. Later during the show, I'll give you some highlights of this. But he mentions some of the factors that could impact Ghana, including the duration of the conflict, OPEC's response, and Ghana's economic preparedness. Then he says this is a moment for careful planning. Now, COMAC, which is the Chamber of Petroleum Marketing Companies, says fuel prices are expected to remain stable in the second pricing window of June, despite the escalating geopolitical tension in the Middle East, particularly between Iran and Israel. Now, according to the chamber, recent developments in the region are unlikely to have an immediate impact. Keyword is immediate on fuel price at local pump. Now, Dr. Ives Nopong attributed the stability to the lag between global market fluctuation and domestic price mechanisms. So for now, prices will not, actually they are coming down For now, prices are supposed to come
they are
down.
coming down.
Yes.
And the minority has been reacting to the U-turn on the levy. Its leader, Panyo Make, is describing it as hypocrisy. There's a quote here. It says, the NDC is now citing instability in the Middle East to justify its failure to implement this punitive levy on petroleum products. This blatant contradiction lays bare the government's double standards, opportunism, and lack of logical consistency. Statement noted that at a time when Ghanaians are grappling with a severe cost of living crisis, the idea of introducing a new fuel levy under the guise of servicing legacy energy sector debts is nothing short of economic sabotage.
Meanwhile, let me say that Bloomberg is reporting that oil rose after Israel and Iran continued attacks on each other over the weekend, with the markets bracing for an escalation that could disrupt supply from a region that produces around a third of the world's crude. Brent jumped as much as 5.5% at the open before powering gains to trade around $75 a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate was near $74. And then the background is giving. So oil has started a steady rise. If it gets above 80, gets close to 100, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But for now, things are not that bad.
The angle used by the minority on the minority statement by the new publisher says cancel your doomsday tax. So in that statement, the minority is arguing that the tax should be
Now,
eliminated.
the second group of stories has to do with what? Where are you going?
So there's the NSA story.
Yes, the National Service Authority,
page
and
number 3
Yes.
of Daily Guide this morning. Top ex-NSA officials hot over 548 million Ghana Citi theft. Gabriel Abdul Razak writes that former executive director of the National Service Authority, Mustafa Yusuf, and some 11 officials of the authority have been accused of stealing a whopping 548 million Ghana cedis through what the Attorney General describes as a criminal enterprise by way of inserting ghost names into the system. In spite of the digitalization system introduced by the NSA to detect fraud and other thefts, the suspects allegedly deliberately manipulated the system and the data of the service personnel and managed to siphon various sums of monies for years undetected.
Well, in reaction to that particular story, page 2 of the custodian carries a story that says Mustafa Yusuf denies offense in NSS scandal. Now, former Minister of Youth and Sports Mustafa Yusuf has denied any wrongdoing during his tenure as executive director of the National Service Scheme. Now, he emphasized his readiness to defend his record at the National Service Secretariat before a court of competent jurisdiction. He issued a statement on.
All right, now take me to the Laura School where we are told students drowned.
Heartbreaking story.
That story is in
on
the
front page
Times.
of the Ghanaian
It's
Times
on Guide as
newspaper.
well.
Yeah.
Details of the story. Let me take you to the details of the story, most likely on page the center spread of the newspaper. And
You got it. I have it on
Okay,
page
yeah,
6
go for it.
here. And,
Of the Daily Guide.
7 Laura students drowned in Dikpet River from Agric Combat Laura. 7 students from Laura Senior High School in the Upper West region have reportedly drowned in the Dikpet River in Laura. The incident occurred on Saturday morning, June 14, 2025, when a group of students during their regular jogging routine attempted to use a canoe to cross the opposite side of the river, and the canoe capsized. Information gathered indicates that 5 students were feared dead and 2 missing, while 3 others managed to escape without injury. However, on Sunday, June 15, the search team found the 2 missing students, totaling 7 dead students. Meanwhile, NADMO and the school authorities and police are yet to comment on.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education has directed an urgent investigation into the matter. A statement signed by the minister said that the GES in the area should look into the issue and give it a report. Now, another man also drowned in Kaswa as the rains, this is Iron City. The rains over the weekend took one person's life. We are told he slipped into a drain. He underestimated the situation. Some people tried to help, but the water was too strong. A relative told Channel 1 News his body was discovered on Sunday afternoon in a different section of the Iron City community. Now, Sky, I want to touch on something that is quite interesting. The Minister of Agric says drip equipment should be used to
Agric roads,
to construct nationwide farm roads.
Right.
I think that's an interesting idea. Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, has announced that the earth-moving equipment procured under the District Road Improvement Program will soon be deployed to construct farm roads across the country. He said all districts will be provided with fuel to operate their drip machines to ensure they are used for their intended purpose. He was telling journalists in Kumasi on Sunday that the government would temporarily halt all major road construction projects in rural areas to make way for the drip equipment. You know, it's raining now. So a lot of the farm roads have become very impassable. So the drip equipment will be used to now clear farm roads to allow for food to be brought from the farms. Just last week, some people were preparing to award contracts for the construction of roads in some rural communities. I asked them to stop because we already have the equipment. All we need to do is to provide them with fuel. So this is for farm roads. I think that's a great idea.
Okay. It's still related to farms. You know, we are doing some farming related stuff later this month. Now, if you go to page 7 of the Chronicle, Agric minister worried over $2 billion spent in importing chicken products annually. Really?
Yeah.
$2 billion?
It's gone. You know, it used to be 300 million.
Aye.
It went to 400 million.
It's $2 billion.
But we are growing. People are eating a lot.
The story is by Ernest Best Anani, and it says that Mr. Eric Opoku, Minister for Agriculture, has expressed worry over the importation of about $2 billion worth of chicken into the country annually. Now, he expressed the need to encourage local poultry farming to reduce the importation of chicken into the country and save the economy some dollars to tackle $2 billion.
I'm telling you, go into the details. It's there.
Hey.
It's there. But you're also eating some.
It's according to him, the NDC was committed to putting pragmatic measures and strategy in place to boost the agricultural sector, including poultry, to promote economic growth, as Ghana imports over 95% of its chicken. Really?
Come and buy local chicken at the Agri fair. Come and help boost Ghana's economy. Import substitution.
We can give about just half of that.
And let's support our poultry farmers. This is why we are putting the Agri fair together. Caleb, I'm back to you.
Yes, Bernard, there's a letter in Daily Graphic that Lawrence Denny has written. I want to highlight Pantine Psychiatric Hospital's deplorable state, a national shame. I recently visited Pantine Psychiatric Hospital, and what I witnessed was nothing short of shocking. The hospital, meant to be a sanctuary for the mentally ill, has been reduced to a mere shell of its former self. Infrastructure is crumbling, walls are peeling, insanitary conditions, breeding grounds for disease, consulting rooms where patients seek solace and treatment are in a state of utter disrepair. Broken furniture, peeling paint, and a general sense of neglect pervaded the atmosphere. Pantine Psychiatric Hospital.
Let me take you back to Parliament. Parliament to vet Supreme Court nominees today. The News Center has that story on page 4, and it says Parliament's Appointments Committee will commence the vetting of 7 Supreme Court nominees from today to Wednesday, June 18, 2025, following President John Mahama's nominations aimed at reinforcing Ghana's highest court. Now, the nominees, all currently serving as justices of the Court of Appeal, include Justice Dennis Dominic J., who a former lecturer of mine, Justice Simon Subare, Justice Senyo Jamape, Justice Kwekutewia Akabuafo, and Justice Philip Bright Mensah. The rest are Justice Janapare Bathels Kujo and Justice Hafista Amaleboba.
What are you doing?
Amaleboba.
Okay. Well, this morning, Herald says Wuntumi's Exim Bank loan drama deepens, and then Ghana faces expanded U.S. travel ban despite cooperation.
Yeah, that story is quite an interesting one. We are told there are about 35 countries that President Trump.
Why is Trump trying to ban us?
Well, because you support people supported him.
Don't do that.
He didn't do what? He said he's giving you 60 days to check.
Oh no, they shouldn't. President Mahama
You know,
should go there.
Okoswegabra said Trump's policy is based on his state of mind. So maybe some Ghanaians is annoying. Add Ghana to the list. If they cut a tape from this show and send it to him, I can ban Ghana.
No, but
if you even tweet something rough, he can add you to it. So you have to be careful.
So I think the president should take me along so we can go.
He will slap you.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
My body, when you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling, oh, you go work, but you know it's out on your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, cause you know it's out on your side. And when you dream, no say I live for you. And when you hustle every day, many wanna go. Anything you do, I live for you. Many want. If I believe I live your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I live your side, fidelity.
Oh, jump on now.
Go, the go. Ugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
The go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
It's a minute to 7 o'clock, and the City Business News is brought to you by EcoBank. Every day people face different emergencies: police, fire, medical, you name it. But many Ghanaians don't know the emergency numbers. Well, here's one you want to remember. *770# is the new EcoBank Money emergency number. Gives you instant access to loans, funds transfer, utility payment, airtime, data purchases, and more. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Dial *770# for solutions for your money emergencies. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. And it's also brought to you by MTN. We've created MTN Ejumapa just for you. It's more than a bundle. It's your new business bestie. With special data and call bundles, you can stay connected to your customers, suppliers, and everything that helps you hustle grow. Also comes with insurance benefits to help protect your business. It's time to level up, scale up, and shine brighter. Dial *5060# now. Grab your Ejumapa bundle and let's get working. MTN Ejumapa, powering women in business. So Nila Latte is joining us with the City Business News. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello to you out there. Welcome to the breakfast edition of City Business News on 97.3 City FM. The bulletin is proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and EcoBank. Coming up, AFDB to capitalize on Ghana's pension funds for massive infrastructure and real estate development. Also, domestic airlines prepare for extended schedules following longer operating hours at various airports. Later, 2025 City Business Festival enters week 3 with a focus on SME growth, plus an Agric forum and the much anticipated Agri fair starting from Friday. Many thanks indeed for your company. I am Nila Latte. Details now. The African Development Bank Group is planning to set up a special facility in Ghana to lower investment risk and unlock financing for infrastructure and real estate sector development. The initiative aims to leverage institutional capital, particularly pension funds, which hold about $5.2 billion for long-term projects that drive Ghana's economic growth. Solomon Kweno is the Vice President in charge of infrastructure and industrialization at AFDB.
Our aim is to establish and operationalize a credit enhancement and de-risking facility in Ghana as a viable mechanism to unlock institutional capital in Ghana for infrastructure and real sector financing. The goal of these credit enhancement facilities is to de-risk local infrastructure projects and real sector projects, making them attractive to local institutional investors. In Ghana today, we estimate that the pension assets under management currently stand at about $5.2 billion equivalent in cedis. And our objective is to create a secured mechanism that can help channel this capital towards transformational projects.
You heard Vice President in charge of infrastructure and industrialization at the African Development Bank Group, Solomon Kweno. to the aviation sector now, and domestic airline operators in Ghana say they are ramping up efforts to introduce extended flight schedules in response to newly introduced longer operating hours at the Prempeh, the first international airport in Kumasi, and the Tamale International Airport. The extension, which took effect on June 1, is aimed at improving connectivity and travel convenience across the country's domestic airspace. Speaking at a stakeholder forum, the Chief Operating Officer at Africa World Airlines, Captain Kwesi Otin, welcomed the move and indicated plans to adjust the operations to take full advantage of the extended evening windows.
We were trying to work out a reasonable timeline for all of this to take place, and I think they've done their part. So I've had preliminary discussions with our commercial department, Aaron and his team. They presented a schedule where we are likely to introduce 2 more flights in the evening for now. So we're focusing very hard on everything, equipment and human resource, in order to make all of this possible.
You heard the Chief Operating Officer at Africa World Airlines, Captain Kwesi Otin. For his part, the Corporate Affairs Manager at Passion Air, Samuel Razak Techi, also indicated the readiness of his outfit.
I would like to take this opportunity to confirm that 20th June we'll be starting our evening flights to Tamale. Departure from Accra will be 1910 and we'll depart Tamale at 2100. So we'll initially start with Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and subsequently we'll extend it throughout the whole week. When we're done with Tamale, we'll look at the Kumasi route. We'll be rolling out that shortly.
Samuel Razak Tichi is Corporate Affairs Manager of Passion Air. Meanwhile, Passion Air says it is intensifying coordination with meteorological and aviation authorities to ensure passenger safety. This follows a mid-air turbulence incident on Saturday, June 14, aboard flight OAP 149 from Kumasi to Accra. Now, the airline attributed the discomfort experienced by passengers to moderate turbulence caused by ongoing seasonal weather changes and apologized to those affected. Away from that, and Blue Skies Limited is flagging concerns over the destructive impact of illegal sand winning on agricultural lands. In a strong appeal to government, the company is calling for immediate action to curb the practice, warning that its continued spread threatens the foundation of Ghana's food security and agri-business potential. There is more in this report.
The appeal follows the loss of over 100 acres of cultivated farmland to illegal sand-winning activities. Head of Foundation and Brand Communications at Blue Skies, Alistair Jimate, highlights the damaging impacts the practice is having on the company's operations.
In this area, we have about 480 acres of land where we are cultivating pineapple and other fruits. And so far, about 100 acres of this land has had the sand taken off, and then the land has been mutilated by some faceless people. And the difficulty is that this is going to affect agricultural productivity through some of these illegal activities. We have suppressed the pineapple industry to the barest minimum.
Anthony Powell, founder of Blue Skies, says the continued encroachment from sand winning is threatening the company's future expansion plans.
Look, we were going to put about 20, maybe 15 million pounds into a site that's just what's that, 15 kilometres near Suhum, and we bought some land there some years ago now, and we were going to put our factory there. We would have probably started doing it now, but the sand stealers moved in, they kicked off 50 farmers who were there, they removed all our trees, they removed all the topsoil, so about a metre of topsoil. They got down to the sand, they took all the sand, and they've left the Sahara, an extension of the Sahara. So we can't go there now.
In a wider call for systemic reforms, he is urging the government to implement comprehensive land policies that clearly define and protect agricultural zones and to take firm action against offenders.
My plea actually to civil society and especially to our legislators, our government, is please stop the sand stealing. Put them in prison. If they steal sand and you haven't approved it, put them in prison. That's where they should be, rather than I shall probably get shot as I go out of the site tonight. But anyway, the point is, it's got to stop.
Founder of Blue Skies Limited, Anthony Powell, ending Neteli Netis Ajahu's report. Now, latest auction results from the Bank of Ghana show that the government fell short of its treasury bill target by 393 million Ghana cedis, reflecting a 5.19% undersubscription. The government aimed to raise 7.58 billion Ghana cedis but received total bids of 7.19 billion Ghana cedis. Per the data, all 6.02 billion cedis tendered for the 91-day bill was accepted, along with the full 995 billion Ghana cedis for the 182-day bill. For the 364-day bill, 173 million Ghana cedis out of the 204 million Ghana cedis in bids were accepted. Away from that, and the Chamber of Oil Marketing Company says the recent escalation in tensions between Iran and Israel is not expected to immediately impact domestic fuel prices during the second pricing window of June. Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber, Dr. Reverson Opon, explains that palm prices are likely to remain stable in the short term as existing fuel stocks and prior commercial agreements continue to influence market supply.
Despite we having fuel prices going up over the weekend because of the Iranian-Israeli war, you realize that our forecast does not really, or does not at all in any way capture that movement. And this is the same reason why I say that when fuel prices are going up, we don't see the effect immediately in our pump prices in this country. And it's the same way when it's going down, we should not expect that same day fuel price hit our pump price immediately, because it takes time for the landing prices to be changed. So I realized that for this very week, we're going to have a very cool price, or let me say cool prices at the pump price level, because we're going to sell old stocks that has been bought at the price, or probably people who have locked in products and paid for it already, or might have signed some commercial agreement.
Dr. Reverson Opon is Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Now, the Citi Business Festival 2025 will continue this week as it enters its third week. Conversations will center on small and medium-scale enterprises. You know that SMEs make up over 80% of Ghanaian businesses. Thus, this week's on-air radio and TV series will be teaching you how to make your SME more successful and resilient. But just a way of update, later this week we have an Agric forum on Thursday on harnessing agribusiness potential for economic growth, expanding agricultural frontiers and maximizing productivity in Ghana. This is also a build-up to the Agri Fair coming off from Friday through to Sunday at the Ifwa Sutherland Children's Park here in Accra. More details of these two major events in subsequent bulletins, so you may have to stay with us this week on the Citi Business Festival so that you don't miss out. Remember that the 2025 Citi Business Festival is powered by 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV, sponsored by Absa Bank Ghana, MTN Ghana, and Zonatech Ghana. And that's it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News. Before I go, the forex market this morning, the dollar trading at 12 cedis 50 pesos, the euro at 13 cedis 50 pesos. That of the British pound could be sold to you at 15 cedis 50 pesos. I'm Neil Atilati. Do have a good business day.
Charlie, where are you?
Boss man, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Afternoon.
Oh, afternoon.
Please, Momo.
Deposit or withdrawal?
Withdrawal.
Ah, I like how you say withdrawal. How much?
500 Ghana.
Why allow cash out?
Yes.
I feel ball number no mami why.
0241 789.
Ah, nice one. Approve.
Please, the agent's name, is it Mipiska Bebre to Coin Ventures?
Hey, into what body you need now?
She. My let I have to verify.
Always confirm the name of the person you are receiving money from before accepting a request. If you receive a request from a friend to send money to an unfamiliar number, call to confirm before taking action. Do not share your number with strangers for the purpose of receiving e-cash in exchange for physical cash, because the source could be criminal and result in legal actions against you.
MTN.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
And Gabby Affairs here with Kickoff. Our sports news segment on the City Breakfast Show is brought to you by Lesheho, Polytang, and Shell. Lesheho says it's come with this Don't Come Me campaign because you deserve financial peace. Until the end of this month, they've reduced their interest rates just for you. No matter your expense, they've got the right loan to meet your needs. WhatsApp or call Nana 02700 4799 02700 4733. Let's make life easier. Let's improve life. And when it comes to water storage tanks, the name we all know is Polytank. Has been around for more than 30 years, trusted by all generations. So make no mistakes. Always go for guaranteed quality, no matter the size you want. Durability is always assured, and we're selling at the same price across the country at Polytank partner shops as the original. Choose the best. Polytank does not request for Momo payments online. And whether you're a dispatch rider, delivery guy, or just someone who loves the open road, your bike is your hustle, your freedom. And breakdowns, well, they are money lost. That's why Shell Advance AX7 and Shell Advance Ultra fully synthetic oils now come with a longer drainage interval for motorbikes to keep you going further. No more frequent oil changes or unnecessary stops. Next time you service your bike, use Shell Advance AX7 and Shell Advance Ultra. Shell Advance, the complete protection for your bike. Gabby Affairs in the studio looking dapper as ever with the solar panel shining in the morning. He's here with Kickoff.
It's Kwame Opoku against Kelvin Kofi Saba. Kwame Opoku scores beautifully. Cheeky goal. And this might just be the goal that sends Kotoko into continental club football next season. It's Opoku on the double. Kotoko 2, Golden King 1.
All right, and so that's our Kumasi Asante. Kotoko won their 10th title in the MTN FA Cup after beating Golden Cake last night at the Legon Stadium. More reactions coming up. Also in the bulletin.
Our Footballer of the Year 2025 is Thomas Partey.
Congratulations to Thomas Partey, the first footballer in the history of the Ghana Football Awards to win the topmost accolade 3 times.
All right, and so Black Stars midfielder Thomas Partey claiming the Player of the Year award at the 2025 edition of the Ghana Football Awards. He's the first player to win it a 3rd time. We're running through the winners from Saturday night, plus some boxing stuff. Many thanks to Shell Gowo, Zonda GH, Polytan Ghana, and Lasheho. Let's improve life. Alright, I am Gabby Ofe. Let's start off with the MTN FA Cup final last night at the Legon Stadium, and Kwame Poku's late penalty handed Kotoko another FA Cup triumph as the Porcupine Warriors edged Golden Cake 2-1. Now Poku, who had earlier opened the scoring, struck his 2nd of the night from the spot to seal a record-extending 10th FA Cup title for Abdul Karim Zito's side. We hear from Kotoko's head coach, Abdul Karim Zito, after the game.
Well, it's not easy for me to lose at the final. And I know I'm coming to meet a difficult game because they lose 91 with them. And we rather the expectation is on us. So at the end of the day, as I said, I can't predict one or two, but at the end of the day, I'll lift the cup. And I'm very happy to won the cup. First one, I said I played and won with Kotoko, and then coach and won with himself. And this time the history is I played Kotoko and won, and coach Kotoko and won. So that is the history now.
All right, so that's Kotoko's interim head coach Abdul Karim Zito speaking after the 2-1 victory over Golden Cake in the MTF FA Cup final last night. Well, the victory not only capped a turbulent season with silverware, but also secured Kotoko's return to continental football next season in the CAF Confederations Cup. And here's Kotoko's Frederick Asarian competing in Africa next season.
Some of us, the players have been there before, and some also are yet to test it. So going there, I think that we are not going to take it lightly. We are also going to work very hard and do our best to also do our best in the competition. So we are not going to take it lightly.
All right, so that's Kotoko's Frederick Asari speaking there. Well, Neil Parker Hansen, the head coach for Golden Cake, was not too happy with some poor officiating on the day.
It wasn't a penalty for me. It wasn't a penalty. Yeah, the keeper hired the first ball and dived in for the second one, but the referee decided. I don't know what kept him long. Who prompted him that it's a penalty? And if somebody prompts him, then on what ground? You understand? So yeah, we came here determined to win this game, to make history, and referee decided.
All right, so that's Golden Cake's head coach Neil Parker Hansen speaking there. Now let's talk about the big night on Saturday. It was the 7th edition of the Ghana Football Awards, and Thomas Partey, Black Stars vice captain and Arsenal midfielder, won the Footballer of the Year, the third time he's done so, and he had some words to say after that.
First of all, I want to say thank you to the organizers. It's been 3 times on a row. I appreciate that. And also to everyone who voted for me. I know it's not easy. I have a lot of mates who deserve it. I'm not the only one, but as you know, I have the support of my family. And I take this as much importance as any award I will take in my career. And I really appreciate it, and I love it. Thank you.
All right, so that's the Black Stars vice captain Thomas Partey. Well, best African international footballer went to Ashraf Hakimi of Morocco. Plays his club football for PSG. Women's coach of the year went to Police Ladies as Abu Qasim. Men's coach of the year went to James Kwesi Appiah. The most vibrant club on social media was given to Mediama Sporting Club. Goalkeeper of the year, of course, Benjamin Asari. Best club CEO of the year went to John Peter Meu, CEO for Hoho United. Women's footballer of the year, Doris Boudoir. Home base female player of the year, Mary Bequin. And then home base male player of the year went to Razak Simpson. His goal against Accra Hearts of Oak also won the goal of the season. Yes, the Nations FC defender Razak Simpson.
I feel proud with myself. I feel proud, and all those that made this achievement possible. I really thank all of them. And once again, I'll thank God Almighty. But without Him, I would not have taken this achievement here.
All right, so that's Nations FC's Razak Simpson speaking there. Well, the Special Funds Award was given to Francis Yao-Frimpong, that's Nanapole of Kumasi, Asante Kotoko, that's the late. The Sports Minister Kofi Adams was present at the awards night. In boxing, Ghana's Jacob Dixon lost the WBC African Bridgerweight title to at the Bukom Boxing Arena on Friday night to Americans Andrew Tabiti. Now, the Americans secured a 4th round knockout after sending the Ghanaian to the canvas on 3 occasions, billed as the main fight on Legacy Rise Sports and American Promotions. That's the Battle of the Beast. The fight was over before it even began as Dixon struggled to compete. And the bout on Friday actually had some top boxers in Ghana, Anthony Joshua, and also American, and also former boxers, that's Azuma Nelson, Bukom Bankun, were all at the Bukom Boxing Arena. Well, in Europe, to some update from the Club World Cup, PSG, Cruz Pass Atletico Madrid 4, a winning start to their first ever Club World Cup campaign. They beat Atletico by 4-0. Bayern Munich also hit double figures against Auckland City in Cincinnati to record the biggest win in the history of the competition. Palmeiras and FC Porto played out a goalless draw. Al Ahly and also Inter Milan also played out a goalless draw. Later today, Chelsea will take on Los Angeles FC at 7 p.m. at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Then Boca Juniors will take on Benfica at 10 p.m. Well, to some transfer news, and Atletico Madrid are interested in defender, that's a Liverpool defender, Andre Robertson. And Liverpool are also lining up a deal for Bournemouth's Milos Kerkez with a view to having the Hungarian as a left-back option alongside Robertson for head coach Arne Slot next season. Well, for Galatasaray, they are interested in Manchester City midfielder Ilkay Gundogan. So we'll see what happens with regards to that. Now, just before we go, Armand Duplantis broke the men's pole vaults world record for a 12th time with a clearance of 6.28 meters at the Diamond League meeting in Stockholm. This one was extra special for the 25-year-old. However, it was the first time he had improved the world best in Sweden. Let's get some thoughts from him after that.
Magical feeling. It's hard to explain, honestly. I wanted this so bad. I wanted to do this in front of everybody here in Stockholm, all my Swedes. It felt like really something special in the crowd today, and I knew that everybody really wanted to see it too, and I really wanted to do it in front of everybody. And so I'm just so glad that it can come together and I can get that nice jump in, because, you know, honestly, there's a lot of things that have to come together to be able to break a world record here in Stockholm. First of all, you're not always promised good conditions. Almost never, actually. I train here quite a bit, and this was one of the best days that I've ever had here. So that's kind of unbelievable in itself. And so just, try to take advantage of it. The great day. Crowd was unbelievable, and happy that I was able to do it.
All right, so that's the sweet Armand Duplantis speaking after his latest record. He did a clearance of 6.28 meters at the Diamond League meeting in Stockholm. Congratulations to him. Well, that's the very latest in the world of sports. For more, you can head to citysportsonline.com, and on X you can find us at City Sports JHA. Kickoff was proudly brought to you by Shell Go Well, Zonda GH, Polytangana, and Lasheho. Let's improve life. I am Gabi Ofer. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care of yourself, and bye-bye.
If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Let's share go, we improve your life.
Polytech is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytech, we get some more Rambo and get some more super. And the Polytech, we did Papa no no, 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 Alcasa. Polytech,
the original, always the best. Endurance, the biker, has a 1000cc sports bike. He has one rule. Hey, don't touch my machine. Lion, the delivery guy, with a 250cc bike, has one rule.
Media no delay, so, cause when people are hungry. What's my delivery? Please, I'm on my way.
If you love your motorbike, then you need Shell Advance AX7 and Shell Advance Ultra for longer lasting protection and a longer drainage interval, keeping your bike going further, no matter what bike you own.
Charlie, and because of Shell Advance Ultra, my 1000cc Ducati and I can travel from here to Burkina and back.
And me, Lion, I know the chair for road, cause my bike they chop better Shell Advance AX7.
For bikes that go the distance, Shell Advance keeps you ahead. Next time you service your bike, use Shell Advance AX7 and Shell Advance Ultra.
Shell Advance, the complete protection for your bike.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
From back in the day, when Afro hair was trending and children had to queue to play Kojo's video game, Fun Milk was always irresistible. Today, it's an after-school source of refreshment. For you stuck in traffic and for us looking to cool off under the sun, the invitation is always that sound. So, whatever your choice, Fun Milk quality products keeps you cool and refreshed. Fun Milk triggers so much fun and excitement with just a blast of a horn. Fun Milk, spreading joy to everyone. This advert is FDA approved.
In every Ghanaian home, there's a trunk, not just of GTP fabrics, but also stories and tradition passed on from mother to daughter to help her discover herself, to shape her dreams and hopes, to usher her into becoming a woman wrapped in purpose. Celebrate every woman's journey of growth into womanhood with the new GTP Mother's Day collection, now available at all accredited dealers nationwide, the GTP retail store in Osu, and online at shop.gtpfashion.com. Verify authenticity by matching the code on the edge of the fabric with the code on the label. GTP, life styled.
Dear business owner, congrats on not giving up on your business. You deserve a medal, and your business deserves to be taken to the next level. In fact, it's about time you run a Zenith Bank SME account so you and your business can enjoy the perks of the Zenith SME business card. Oga and Oga Madam status.
The Zenith SME Business Card is a Visa debit card for making secure payments for goods and services. Enjoy great benefits such as free customized digital SME training, free marketing toolkits, access to Visa practical skills training, and more. Unlock the potential of your business today. Visit any Zenith Bank branch nationwide and sign up for the Zenith SME Business Card, the ultimate payment solution for SMEs. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com.gh or call 0302-680-884 or 0307-086-370. Zenith Bank, in your best interests.
Rise and shine, it's another day to stay on point. Toast to spread, it's still on point. Watch it spread, it's all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch it spread, it's still on point. For your bread, it's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy delicious, it's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's yummy delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise. This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
The Money Matter segment is brought to you by Petra. Petra, achieve more.
Welcome to the Money Matter segment with Petra. When you invest in a mutual fund, you're not doing it alone. A professional fund manager watches the markets, studies trends, and makes smart decisions on your behalf. It's like hiring a trusted driver for a long journey. They know the safest and smartest routes. At Petra, our investment managers work to grow your money while you focus on living life. Dial *447*70# to get started.
The Money Matter segment was brought to you by Petra. Petra, achieve more.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3. power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Rex Jemfi with a classic 97.3 Citi FM. It's Monday, the 16th day of June, and we're so excited to be serving you Ghana's best breakfast. My name is Bernard. The whole team is here. Richard Sky, Caleb Kuda, Francisca Kakra Fossen, Mami Lawyer, she's back in the house. Later on, we'll be joined by Susu Graham as well. We're taking social media trends. Really looking forward to this week. It's a very, very important week for us. We have a couple of things happening. On Thursday, we're bringing you the Agri Forum, and I'm just going to give you some highlights of that. So the Citi Business Festival is in its third week, and this Thursday, we're bringing you the second of two business fora. On Thursday last week, we brought you a conversation about global tariffs. This Thursday, we're talking about harnessing Ghana's agribusiness potential for economic growth. And our guests include Davis Kobo, who is the president of the Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters, Professor Roger Canton, who is a research scientist, Dr. Mavis Owurekwasari is a food scientist and CEO of Impact Food Hub, and William Nete is the head of agribusiness Absa Bank. Now, this is a precursor to the Agri Fair that's happening on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And as if by design, this morning, the Minister of Agric was speaking to Otunfo over the weekend, complaining about Ghana's over-dependence on imported food. And can you believe that the Minister of Agric said Ghana imports 95% of its chicken? Charlie, I don't understand.
Really, really troubling.
If this is true, it's serious. With the annual cost exceeding $2 billion. $2 billion. And it's not just chicken, we import a lot of things. So there's a lot that needs to be done in the agri sector. Now, one of the things we've decided to do here at Citi is not just to create a platform to discuss issues. We also use what we call our convening power to try and address some of those matters. So this June, we're bringing together lots of farmers and farmer groups to come and sell their fresh farm produce. Fresh farm produce. That's what we call it. We call it the Agri Fair 2025. It's the first of its kind. Oh my God. What's it teach you, but you can't say it in your local language. Or purchase a fresh farm produce. The ever no kind.
I beg you. Even if you write it for me, I still can't.
No, pronounce it. Try it.
No, in tree.
No, say it in MFM. Aglemanuku.
Aglemanuku. Agleme. Nuku.
Yo.
The O, no, what is that?
It completes it.
No, but the O is what?
It's part of the story.
So, you say your language, we break Agbele is farm. Agbeleme, Yefum, Nuku, produce. Ye is new. But the O is what? The O, it means that they are more.
Yeah.
You know.
So everything O means plenty.
The view in column. So the view, abofra, the view. The view in color. Because I know a logical. A calculation.
As for Everett, it's mathematics. I always say this: it's mathematics and French, but it's conjugation.
Inti agbelemenuku ye.
The richest guy.
So Ifrema Edunyami is the head of events. It's a big Ifrema. I think it's probably the biggest event you've done in a long time, man.
Yes, Agri Fair is very big.
It's huge.
You know, and because of what we are doing, I mean, exhibition and sales of fresh farm produce is just like a market.
I tell you.
And market naturally is big. You know, if you go to all the markets that we have, if people are bringing their produce from all over, it means that this is really going to be huge. And that also means that we don't have just one person coming to sell one thing.
Okay.
So if it's, for instance, tomatoes, we have a lot of tomato people coming, farmers coming. If it's poultry, if it's whatever it is, it means that we have a lot of farmers coming in to bring their farm produce to exhibit and also to sell.
So what categories of farm produce are we talking about for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I think you can even add Monday or just Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes, okay,
just Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes,
Okay.
it's Sunday.
So
we are bringing everything. And when we talk of farm produce, it means that we are bringing the vegetables, we are bringing the staples, we are bringing...
As it says it, then you translate it.
So it's very important. So we are bringing vegetables.
Those are the Agbomakron of you alone. Generic term.
What does it mean?
You see, he doesn't have his local language name for vegetables.
Okay, so we are bringing pepper.
Pepper, yeah, taddy.
Tomatoes,
Chimachi,
rice,
molu,
cassava, gari. So that one is gali.
Yes.
Maize,
yes.
beans,
yeah, bobo, ayi,
snails,
abobo.
Yeah.
abobo.
Yes, abobo.
That's true. What about mushrooms?
Mushrooms.
Ngoli hehi.
Ngoli koki. Goat.
Ngoli hehi. Egbo.
What?
Egbo.
Egbo.
Egbomita.
Yo, guys, I mean, why?
Stay focused. So we are talking fruits and veg.
Yes.
We're talking grains.
We are talking
rice
grains,
and
yes, the maize,
and then there's also fish.
There's fish. There's snails.
Okay.
There's livestock.
Okay.
There's eggs.
Okay.
There's
Bee products.
Come again.
Honey.
Okay.
Yeah. There's kebab stand because the animals that we are bringing, we will also chew some there.
Will they bring cow that produce milk?
I mean, Sandra will be there. So, you know.
Because I need.
Sandra will be there.
I need fresh milk.
Also, Sandra will be there with wagashi. I mean,
But
all the excesses.
do Ghanaian cattle produce milk?
Oh yes.
It must. Yes, I think Sandra brings it.
Because last week I saw Francisca drinking goat milk, and I wonder where the goat milk from. Whether it was from Ghana or from Australia.
I think. Look, we get a lot of these things because wagashi is very popular, and it is from the fresh milk from the cow. So we get.
What type of farmers are coming? And I'll come to Prof shortly because one of our key partners is here to talk about why this is important and why they're supporting. But are we talking about smallholder farmers? Are we talking about medium sales farmers? Are we talking about large farmers?
No, we are talking about farmers.
Farmers.
So small, medium, large. As long as you are a farmer, you are the farm owner.
Okay.
You know, so it doesn't matter. We have people who are coming with 2 acres of farms. We have people who are coming with 400 acres, with 200 acres, with 1,000 acres, and all that. So it means that we have from small to medium to large, and everybody is part of it.
I'm told Legon farms produce fresh cow milk. Then they should come and exhibit. Who are some of the exhibitors who are coming?
So we have quite a number coming. We have the Urban Jungle Agro Industries.
So they are doing what?
They are doing vegetables.
Okay.
We have the Poultine and More Limited.
Poultine and More.
Yes, they are selling poultry care products.
Okay.
You know, we have the GB Health Solutions. They do agri-tech health and wellness. We have Alote Farms.
Alote
Farms.
Hey.
They are doing poultry, so they are bringing your chicken, turkey, guinea fowl. You know, everything that flies. Exactly. We have Agrokins coming. They are doing rice and vegetable.
Made in Ghana rice.
We have Pap Farms, poultry. We have Farm Mate Africa. They are doing tomatoes. So quite a number of
different exhibitors are coming
in. Yes.
All right. Now, before we come to the Agri Fair clinics, we have a number of sponsors. So we have the Ghana Exim Bank, the Legacy Improvement Center, and Development Bank Ghana, as well as Agri Impact Limited and Horticultural Business Platform. Our tech partner is Farmerline. In studio is the chief economist for DBG, Professor
Thank you.
Eric Osei-Sibe. He's joining us to talk about why this is such an important program that they support. Indeed, when we went to speak to them, he said, "This is a great idea, Prof. Welcome to the show."
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank
Wonderful.
You so much.
What's your job as chief economist of DBG?
Well, we provide the necessary analytical backbone to the bank.
Okay.
We lead the thought leadership
program.
We produce knowledge.
Okay.
We conduct research.
Okay.
We do monitoring and evaluation, impact analysis, evaluation, capacity building, training for the bank, and anything that has to do with knowledge dissemination, knowledge.
That's what your team does. So what is DBG? Research. What is DBG all about? I'm told it's not like normal banks.
Yeah, absolutely. DBG is an enabler. It was actually set up about 3 years ago.
Okay.
2022 June, that was when it was launched. And the main focus is to seek to sort of correct the market failures.
Okay.
You know the mainstream banks usually tend to shy away
from
Agric. Providing medium to long-term financing to certain key sectors of the economy, especially agriculture, manufacturing and others, because of the high perception of risk. And DBG has been brought to sort of try to close that gap, by providing patient capital, medium to long-term capital, and also to a large extent competitive interest rates.
Wow. So you guys don't lend directly to businesses?
Yes, we don't lend directly to businesses, but we have participating financial institutions, which we call the PFIs.
Wonderful.
That we lend to them. These are about 16 of
the
16 commercial banks as of now. And so we lend to them on a wholesale basis, and they on lend to the end borrowers.
Wonderful.
MSMEs.
So why is the Agri Fair something DBG agreed to be part of?
Well, if you look at our mandate as a development bank, agriculture is one of the priority sectors that we focus on. We believe that agriculture is a way to catalyze our economic growth, it's a way to generate employment for the teeming youth, to diversify exports, and to ensure that we have import substitution, especially as we're talking about poultry and others that we import so much. And so for we having the opportunity to join the community of practitioners that is looking at agriculture from end to end, you know, from producers to aggregators to processors to distributors, all coming to one place. We think that this is a fine opportunity for us to engage, for us to have deals, you know, for us to ensure that we are able to whet the appetite of these practitioners to get to know DBG, what DBG does, and how we can be of support to them. And so we'll be there, talking to them and asking, answering their questions and telling them the least how they can access DBG funding and what kind of support that is available for them to.
When you hear a statistic like we spend $2 billion every year to import chicken, and that 90-something% of our chicken is imported. I'm not sure how, but I believe that though. But how do you reconcile that with what you're trying to do? Because it seems as if, is it that Ghanaians like foreign things, or the cost of the local one is too high, or the markets have not been developed? How come we spend so much money importing something that we see flying around us all the time?
Yeah, it's striking, and that is where I think that we need to have a very strategic intervention in that sector, because I mean we cannot be importing that amount of goods into our economy and giving jobs and supporting other people's economy when we do have the lands, we do have the resources. What often we are lacking is the know-how and then the financing that is needed to be able to go into large-scale production. And so we think that if really we want to create jobs for the people, we want to enhance food security, and then we want to be able to ensure that we conserve foreign currency in this country, then we have to be very strategic in our approach to this thing. We are able to do it, and that's what we have done so far. Since coming into office, in our inception, we've been able to lend close to about 300 million to the agricultural value chain.
Okay.
We have a program that we call DEEP, Development Bank Economic Recovery Program, and that's sought to provide medium to long-term financing and also try to provide some concessionary lending, buying down the interest rate that is about 500 basis points below the market. And so thus far, we've been able to affect the market ecosystem to a large extent, supporting poultry. Some of the poultry farmers have been able to access our farm.
Wonderful.
And they have been able to upskill, to try to close this gap. And we intend to do more. If you heard our CEO talking at the business forum, he mentioned that this year we have earmarked about 500 million in support of agricultural sector.
Wonderful.
And we intend to
will you come and give some to our farmers who come on
Absolutely.
Friday?
That's why we are come. That's why we are excited.
Come and show them
delighted
what
to be associated with this program because we realize that the knowledge based, I mean, many of them don't know about DBG, and we intend to create a lot more awareness, working in collaboration with our partners to give more information how they'll be able to position themselves to access our loan through our participating financial institutions. So
Wonderful.
It's an information sharing session.
Wow.
We're engaging more, connecting them to our partners, and then find opportunity to handhold some of them that may need some support in terms of building their credit.
What would be nice is if you're able to identify some credible Agric vehicles and directly lend to them, because I think the real bottleneck is how the commercial banks process these loans. Makes it difficult for the Agric value chain to really benefit, because their cycles are really not the same as the bank cycles. You know that somebody may need to plant at a particular time, harvest at a particular time, but the bank credit cycles are not really in tandem with that. And now that GSL is in, we have tried to de-risk the Agric sector. So maybe one of the things you should be thinking about is DBG directly engaging some of these farms to understand what they do, to see if the law will allow you to give them money directly. And that may be the game changer we are all looking for, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. That is not bad. But what we are doing is also a novelty because, we don't do this directly because we want to be able to partner with other institutions so that we have a holistic approach to the process. We partner with GESAL that provide technical support. You know, tend to do some training for the banks to understand the seasonality that you've spoken about, to understand the value chain better, because we realize that knowledge, the sector knowledge is key if you want to de-risk the sector. So we're working with them. The banks have the capacity, the commercial banks have the capacity to retail lending, and therefore they also have what it takes to mitigate the risk.
Wonderful.
Right? So if we work in tandem with these three organizations, we're providing the wholesale funding at a concessionary rates to a large extent, and then we have GESAL and other partners providing the technical support and the capacity building to enhance the sector knowledge. And then we have the banks that have done lending for over years and have the capacity to mitigate risk and retail their lending. And then we know that we have a holistic approach.
Wonderful. Prema, so far, you're saying hundreds of companies have expressed their intention to come and sell, but they have to finish their registration process this week. So just talk me through that and let the companies know what they need to do so that we are sure they are part of the exhibitors for Friday.
This is the Sepin corner. This is where you do germentation.
This is very important. So because over 140 have expressed interest.
We have 194.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Will the space be able to contain them?
No, we can't take everybody.
So those who are interested in coming to exhibit have to do something.
That is why it's very important. You know, last minute would not really help you because a lot of people have made payments already. Once you've paid, you know that you are sorted. So you are just waiting. Yes, so you are just waiting for Friday to bring your produce, and then we have the show on. But if you have registered but have not paid, you are still not part of the fair.
So you have to pay your money.
Registered, but you have not paid.
I hear you.
It also does not mean that we are reserving any slot for you. So you can decide to maybe come Thursday night and say that, but I registered. It doesn't work like that.
So you need to, when do they have to finish paying? Today is Monday.
You see, we normally do not give deadlines because if by midday today we get the number we are looking for, we'll close registration. So if I tell you that we are giving room to up to Wednesday, and then by tomorrow morning, all the slots are gone.
So they should just make sure they pay today.
Just come and pay today,
so that you know that you've secured their slot. And they would have a booth.
They will have a booth. There are canopies over them. They will get their chairs. They will get their tables. Those coming with the animals, we'll create a nice pen for them. But we'll still engage them to have. So those who have paid, we have had that conversation with them, just so we can serve them better. So we look at what your expectations are. You also know what our expectations are. Then we can do this beautifully to serve our mutual interests.
Okay. All right. So what about the Agri clinics? We are also doing some training program alongside. Just talk to me briefly about that.
Exactly. So we have the Agri clinics also happening. So we are looking at those who want to get into farming. We are looking at those who want to have some form of funding, profits here. So you've heard what DBG is coming with. So this is the best opportunity because sometimes you don't even know where DBG office is. You don't even know where you're going to start the conversation from. But this is a great platform for you to come, engage the right people, start the process from there. And then we are also looking at value addition. We are looking at how to maximize technology on every other thing. So it's a holistic, agri business fair and sales that we are having over the weekend.
Agri business fair. That's,
everything
I like
in
it.
Yes.
Using the words of Prof, it's a holistic approach. So it's Friday the 20th, Saturday the 21st, Sunday the 22nd. A Fasterland Children's Park. Now, the clinics will have various training programs, as we have mentioned already, but also some of our partners will be presenting stuff. So DBG will be there at all the clinics to talk about how you can access funding, what they can do for you through their partner institutions as well. Is there a phone number to call to register or to make your payment?
There's a phone number to call. So now there are two phone numbers.
Yes.
If you want to be part of the clinics, you call 0558 973 973.
Repeat for emphasis.
0558 973 973.
Okay.
So this is for the clinic.
Yes, which is happening alongside. So at the same venue.
Exactly.
They will put you in a container and you'll be clinicking. Okay.
So you might not even be coming to shop.
Yeah.
You can be at the clinic.
Of course.
You can come in to shop.
Yes.
You can be at the clinic. You
Wonderful.
can be an exhibitor.
Yes,
you can be at the clinic.
So you register for the clinic by going to
Exactly.
0558 973 973. What about the companies that are exhibiting and they want to finalize their exhibition plan?
Yeah, so they have to call 0205 973 973.
Okay.
0205 973 973.
Wonderful.
Now we don't even want to talk about the registration anymore.
Just come and pay.
Just
and
come
then
and pay.
Let's
If
know
you've
that you are ready to
registered,
go.
exactly.
Wonderful. This is the crunch time.
Yes.
Prof, finally, what expectations do you have for Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the Agri fair? Now it's called the Agri Business Fair, according to you.
Yeah, we have a high expectation. We believe that this is an opportune time for us to engage with our end borrowers, potential end borrowers, farmers in particular, especially looking at the entire value chain, right from the production to distributors to financiers. We have some of our PFIs, partner financial institutions, also coming.
You are bringing them along.
Yes, they will be there as well. And therefore, we want to be able to engage them, have information sessions with them, walk them through what we offer, our mandate, what our credit criteria, and what PFIs they can approach, right? And then we do try to identify bankable pipelines.
Wonderful.
That we can begin to handhold and to support them to access funding from this. So
many
really
things are
we
happening
have
at
a
the
high
same time.
expectations, yes.
Here's a listener. Bernard, I am registering my protest against the too few kebab stands, leading to long queues. Tell Frema to bring more kebab stands or else trouble. I hope you are listening.
We are breaking for the kebab, dear. Is the side attraction.
So it's a
we
lot
have the
and different
whole
kinds.
Kebab village.
Chicken kebab, rabbit kebab,
Rabbit,
goat kebab,
everything.
turkey kebab.
Yes.
Which other kebab is there?
I confirm is coming, turkey. As long as the animal is there.
That's a side.
the
That's
meat
a
is
side
available.
attraction. So Agri Fair is happening this weekend. We're looking forward to it. It's about the biggest thing we've done. 3 days of farm fresh produce happening under the auspices of Channel 1 Television with our sponsors, including the DBG, whose chief economist, Professor Eric Osesibe, says it's about time we had a strategic approach to agriculture. Prof, thanks for being on the show.
Let me just add that entry is free.
Entry is free.
So for those who are coming,
Just come.
who are coming,
Just come. Breeze.
come to the market.
Come with the
and shop.
children. Show them what the
Yes.
market is.
Yes, sir.
They should wear their shoe and they
Yes.
follow you.
Yes.
Say this is duck. This is krokro. This is fish.
I confirm.
It's very important. Sponsorship is from Ghana Exim Bank, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, DBG, Agri Impact Limited, the Horticulture Business Platform, technology partner is Farmerline. And as a precursor to that, on the 19th of this month, which is this Thursday, we have a big conversation on the Agric sector, and that is the Citi Business Forum on Agric and Agribusiness. It's on the theme Harnessing Agribusiness Potential for Economic Growth. Speakers include Davis Corbo, President of FAGE, Professor Roger Canton, Research Scientist, William Nete of Agribusiness, Absa Bank, and Dr. Mavis Orekwasari. Vivian Kaluko is your moderator. ORC is reminding companies that 30th June is the last day for filing annual returns and renewal of business names. This follows an earlier press release on the 14th of April. Companies who fail to file will have to pay a penalty of 1,000 cedis in addition to filing fees. We urge all companies and business owners to comply with these statutory obligations within the specific period of time to ensure continuity. For more information, call 059-952-5774. ORC, a trusted partner for business. Time for tech and social media trends, and it's proudly brought to us by
Telecel and First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana is embarking on a journey to reconnect with customers who haven't used their accounts for a while. We would love to give you we would love to provide you with a gold standard of banking once again. So reactivate your dormant account at First Bank Ghana. Kindly visit our website or any of our social platforms: Facebook, Twitter, or X, Instagram, LinkedIn. Click the link provided in our bio page page and you'll be good to go. Alternatively, visit any of our branches nationwide. We'll be happy to receive you. First Bank is putting you first. Please call 0596 921 921.
Mr. Graham is here with the segment. Welcome to Soup.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
What's the big
So
story?
the first one, of course, was Father's Day. So we wish all the fathers in the
man.
happy Father's Day.
Did it actually trend?
Oh, of course. Why would I?
No, I'm just asking.
Of course.
The way the world has gotten to.
Yeah, of course. Everyone
Father's Day trended.
You are shocked there.
Because
I wasn't hearing anything.
Because everyone was posting their dads.
That's true, Mom. Yesterday we didn't hear much about the bad ones.
But did you make noise yourself?
Oh, I made noise the right way. You know, sometimes you make noise, you don't do action.
Yeah. And we also want to say,
Can I just wish all the gallant, assertive, brilliant men?
No, don't do Gar. Do the fathers.
Ignore him. Go
A
ahead.
happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Especially my colleagues on the
I take 'em.
breakfast
I
show.
take 'em.
And you are soon to be.
Yes. The way you are going.
You are soon to be.
You may
Congratulations.
even get twins. The way he's going.
What you have said carries implications. It carries very serious implications.
Not so recent
So let's
future.
modify it.
Not so recent future.
Thank you, Council.
Me personally, I'm against. We are not fathers yet. Let's let the
Charlie,
fathers
Massa.
enjoy. We don't have.
No, they are father figures.
Stop that life. Stop that life. If you collect it, we've collected our thing.
Oh yeah, you go and take double triple.
Yeah.
We also want to say happy birthday to Mr. Kennedy Ejepong. It's his birthday, so Ken 65. Ken 65 is trending. So congratulations to him on another milestone.
They say, are you connected?
That's why I say Ken.
Showdown.
So the Club World Cup is actually in the trends. People thought it wouldn't happen, but slowly but surely people are getting interested. Inter Miami and Al Ahly opened it up. We saw Bayern Munich beat Auckland City 10-0. So yeah, things are.
Apparently, Auckland City is part-timers.
Part-timers. They are not. Some of them have to take annual leave to come and play. One of the goalkeeper said, "Look, he had to take unpaid leave to come, but the chance to play against Bayern Munich, he can't say no."
I will never criticize footballers again. This weekend, I went to play a Father's Day match. If there was ever any doubt that I'm not young, in fact, that was confirmed over the weekend. No. Now I know I'm not a young man. And this was just 30 minutes. After 6 minutes, I said, how many minutes have we played? They said, we haven't been done half of the first half. I said, bring me water.
What position were you playing?
I was the right winger.
That's why you were doing too
And then my
much.
number 2 was behind me supporting. It was crazy. We're playing against 11 to 15-year-olds.
So
it's the worst mistake I've made in my life. Even now, my body, aboniki. It's terrible.
So the MTN FA Cup final was yesterday. So that was the end of the Ghanaian domestic season. And Kotoko beat Golden Kicks, but in controversial circumstances.
As always.
Through a late penalty, which I'll be honest, from the angles I've seen and the replays I've seen, was one of the worst decisions you see. The keeper clearly did his job, but big teams, they get the decisions.
When we say, then they say we shouldn't say.
But Kotoko have won the trophy, and congratulations to them. But a bit of a question mark over the match itself.
So that qualifies them for Africa?
Yes, they are going to play in the Confederations Cup, which is the second tier of African competition. So we wish them the best in their endeavors. Then Israel and Iran are in the trends. We are seeing a lot of things happening there. A lot of bombs and missiles and assassinations. It's all kicking off. And it's also affecting us here.
Small oil price reprieve we are getting to chop now.
So they say the levy has been delayed.
I think the bigger question is the lack of respect for human life.
Charlie?
It is as if, the people involved, the people who are supposed to be in leadership, don't understand that the world needs healing. We have yet to recover from COVID. People died.
Russia, Ukraine, and then
what is this? What is this?
It's not good. We need a new heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire humanity.
The same world that people can't even afford food a day to eat. You won't use money for that. You are busy throwing missiles.
That's why we have to develop our country, so we can also become powerful. So we can also say something to influence the world. Please go on.
And Benue in Nigeria, I don't know how they pronounce it. Benue, it's trending. There was a
but it's
massacre.
a river actually.
Thank you.
So indeed, most River Benue and River Niger, they are the two rivers.
So there was a kind of massacre there over the weekend. 200 people were killed. Jesus. So it's also in the trends. People are kind of discussing what happened.
Cattle herders versus farmland owners.
We are hearing this Muslim.
You know, it's a transition zone. So a lot of times the cattle herders and the farmland owners always clashing. In the Middle Belt is a very big thing in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You see, that's why you should do geography. River Benue. We're learning rivers in countries we never visited.
When we did geography, we were doing like what's the word for it called? You know, rain side and
that's physical
side.
geography.
Yeah, we did.
No, but there's physical, regional, and there's also regional, and there's also what do you call it, map work.
Yeah, we didn't do much of the locations and those things. It was more about human geography and physical
we
geography.
We even did things about Zambia, Zimbabwe, Ethiopia, all those things.
But funnily enough, all the houses in SOS are named after rivers and lakes in Africa.
Interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Give me one of the houses.
Oh, we had Ankobra. I was in Sassandra.
So Ankobra is Ghana.
Sassandra is in Ivory Coast.
Yes.
There was the Manu River.
Manu River is in near Senegal.
Yeah,
no. Manu River is the Sierra Leone area.
Yeah, exactly. Then we had Niger,
which is in
Densu,
which is here.
Tekana.
Tekana, is it in Tanzania?
I think it's somewhere in East Africa. We had which other one is there?
Rivers. Tano is also in the eastern side.
Yeah, so a lot of them were named. Volta, of course.
Yeah. What's the largest river in Africa, by the way?
The Nile.
Of course.
Yeah, and we had Zambezi as well. So it's mostly rivers.
There's a song we used to sing. Nile, Blue, White, Zambezi, Limpopo, Niger, Volta, Gambia, Senegal. Those are the biggest rivers in Africa. It's a song.
Okay.
So when we are going to write, I have to choose the song.
That was the name.
So there's a blue. So the Nile, Blue, White, Zambezi, Limpopo, Niger, Volta, Gambia, Senegal. Those are the 8 top rivers.
Even the house next to I was in Sassandra. The house next to us was Limpopo. So.
Limpopo, yeah. So you use songs to learn BC. Charlie, Q&Po is not bad though. See, I still remember.
It's good. It's good.
Let's tech news.
The tech news, of course, is that this is actually relevant to us. The Washington Post is reporting that there was a cyber attack on their journalist email accounts. So this is something that concerns us to that. Clearly, someone was interested to know what they had been talking about and was trying to hack their email. So the Washington Post so it's reset everyone's password on Friday. That was their thing, and they are trying to see what was happening. But basically, someone was trying to see that there was some kind of cyber attack. They are wondering whether there was a foreign government, what's going on. So it shows that our work is important and people are trying to find out what we are doing.
So the Turkana is in Kenya. The Turkana is in Kenya. Thank you, Susu. On that geographic note, check on social media trends.
Since 1894, we've witnessed the evolution of a brand and proudly partnered with its people on the path to prosperity. From the ink-stained ledgers of the past to the lightning-fast transactions of today, First Bank has consistently adapted, embracing innovation while cherishing the legacy of our heritage and making giant strides across the globe. It's not just about banking, it's about enabling your success generation after generation. Our legacy defined the past, shaped the present, and in 2094, we will still be fostering financial security and stability for future generations. We are helping to create a future where the possibilities are infinite, the opportunities borderless, and where the world looks up to Africa. Let's awaken the giant in you. You first. First Bank.
There is small money, there is big money, and there is too much money. Telecel Too Much Money promo is here. Dial *500# to opt in. In the Telecel Too Much Money promo, you can win 100 Ghana cedis cash in the daily draws, 20,000 Ghana cedis in the weekly draws, and 1.2 million Ghana cedis in the grand draw. That's 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Simply reload airtime to earn points to stand a chance to win. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to opt in now for the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. Telecel, connecting energies. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Agric
AgriFair 2025 is almost here. The much anticipated AgriFair 2025 is just around the corner, happening from the 20th to the 22nd of June at the A4 Sutherland Children's Park in Accra. Get ready for a fun, educative, and exciting experience as we bring together the very best in agriculture, food, innovation, and entertainment all in one place. Exhibitors, if you have registered, it's time to pay and secure your spot before it's too late. Don't miss this opportunity to showcase your products to thousands of attendees. Call 0205-973-973 now to make your payment and lock in your space at Ghana's biggest agri event. Come and enjoy the freshest farm produce at unbeatable prices and treat yourself to sizzling kebabs made from beef, mutton, pork, chicken, and more. Don't miss this. See you there. The AgriFair 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by the Ghana Exim Bank, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, Development Bank Ghana, Agri Impact Limited, the Horticulture Business Platform, and Twilliam Ghana Limited. Our technology partner is Farmerline.
Are you a residential and a commercial property owner in Airport, Cantonment, Laboni, East Airport, and other high-end areas in Accra and looking for a trusted real estate agency to work with? Is your office in need of an agency that can provide accommodation to all your expatriates? Realtor and Tours is your trusted partner to get the job done. Contact Realtor and Tours at www.realtortoursgh.com or call us on 054-496-5779 and 053-006-4754. Our first 5 callers get 5% discount on their agency fees. Realtor and Tours. Enjoy true hospitality with convenience and comfort.
Let me do my thing. Girls, leave me and let me do my thing. I'm tired of everyone chasing the same old. Awesome intelligence is the new magic. Get your Samsung Galaxy A56, A36, or A26 5G. eSIM included. This trip, school go big as I pull out my awesome intelligence. Pictures, videos, slow-mo, filters will be awesome. That's the new Galaxy experience. So let me do my thing. Let me be different, unique, and most of all, awesome with my new Samsung A series. Grab your new awesome Galaxy A56, A36, or A26 5G. Level up your game with the new awesome.
Price starting at 4,199 cedis. Terms and conditions apply.
When the pain is too much, don't know what else to do. So hunam ya wuya, na wunya wunya. Rapping all, we'll take the pain away. Rapping all, bema wuya unajai.
Rapinol is what you need. Rapinol will relieve you of all aches and pain in your body. Rheumatic pain, menstrual pain, body pain, toothaches, and other feverish conditions. Rapinol is a quality product from Danex Itin Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. Not suitable for children below 16 years old, asthmatic, and ulcer patients. This advert is FDA approved.
Ocho, it's 3 a.m. What now? Ocho, not again. It's 4 a.m. What's now?
Sorry. Last year was Yatisubium. This year, crowd, we've gone lower. Yasaya Tiso. I'm back with good news. Amazing news. I've been so cool. SG Ghana loans are back with even lower interest rates. If you're a salaried worker, whether you're on CAGD payroll, work with an SG Ghana listed institution, or already bank with SG Ghana, this is your time. Whether it's completing your dream home, paying school fees, or handling other personal needs, SG Ghana has the perfect loan for you. Walk into any SG Ghana branch from now till September 2025 and ask about Yasaya Tisu Loans promo. Let's help you get things done. You can also call 0302-214-314 for more details. Terms and conditions apply. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Jesus. I'm only a big man, no they ball on me. And I was your face. I seen the hope and it down on me. Everything could have been lovely, but I'm just another guy, just another guy. Obsessed to my mobiles, concerned with my liberty. Options overflow, I'm not gonna lie, there's a change in my energy. Praying I never go down. If I stepped on toes, my apologies. Everything could have been lovely, but I'm just another guy, just another guy. But you wouldn't tell me to sacrifice.
17 minutes past 8 on the City Breakfast Show. You deserve a brand new car. VW is offering the Virtues Highline, the T1 Life, and the Amarok. So these are various mix, the saloon, SUV, and pickup. We call them get a brand new car at a used car price. Drive into any Volkswagen retail outlet with your used car budget, and you may drive out with a brand new car. Call or WhatsApp VW Ghana on 025-795-6688 for more information about our range of models. The Virtus, the T-Cross, the T1, the Allspace, the Terramont, and the Amarok. Drive VW, drive Ghana. If you're looking for a faster, smarter, and more secure way to manage your finances, look no further than the award-winning Fab mobile and internet banking solution. Banking is now easier, faster, and more convenient. Join the Purple Bank today with the Purple experience. It's easy, safe, and secure. First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. All right, so there's a new chocolate in town.
Yes.
It's called Kebi.
Kebi.
Kebi na mean Kebi.
Kebi na mean Kebi.
Bite some, make a bite
You
some.
understand?
Get your hands on some Kebi goodness.
Yeah, man.
You can find Kebi at all Palace Mall branches.
Okay.
Mig Mart, which is made in Ghana Mart, is gone in Laboni. Right. Wild Gecko Handicraft Shops at Kotoka International Airport, and Shiashi and Super Save and plenty other supermarkets. For our listeners in the US, you can visit our online shop, or you can shop online via, is it Etsy? E-T-S-Y? You are the one who's in Canada.
What's this?
They said the online shop where you can buy KB, it's E-T-S-Y. E-T-S-Y, Etsy.
Yeah, I think it's Etsy.
Just search Kabi Chocolate or visit the following stores in the Chicago area.
Okay.
Abis Market, Romeoville, One African Market, that's a place called Bolingbrook, and A Plus Store International Market, Uptown.
Merci.
Charlie, people, they chop things. So KB also produces a custom-made chocolate gift for corporate events and businesses. So if you're planning something for your team, your clients, we've got something extra sweet for you.
Sharp.
So when I say KB, you say what?
Namin Kebi.
KB, Namin Kebi.
Yeah, man.
It'll be rough.
As you are reading this LPM, I think we should. I should be seeing some chocolate sometime this week. We should be seeing some this week. We'll plan something for your team.
We are fans of the Ghanaian chocolate here, who do small chocolates that are very tasty.
Super.
So you know what to do.
Kebi Namin Kebi.
You just wish that Happy Father's Day with your mouth. You know what to do.
This one day you have to include all the men.
Yes. No. All right, now imagine waking up to the serenity every day, surrounded by nature's beauty and luxury at your fingertips in a gated estate that you can be proud of. At Western Villas at Aimensa, our standing homes redefine elegance. Each home is a masterpiece designed with precision and love. We have swimming pools, gyms, playgrounds, beautiful landscape gardens, and private balconies, making every day feel like a retreat. We also have executive lot for sale at McCarthy Hill, strategically located and offer unparalleled views. With just 5% deposit, you can reserve your space. Contact us today and learn more about our luxury homes at Aimensa or executive plot at McCarthy Hill. Call 053-650-2295 or visit westonvillas.com for more information. Caleb.
Yes, and this is for the food lovers. There's a little kitchen secret I want to share with you, and it is the Gino tomato mix. It's thick, red, and very rich, just the way you want it. So Gino tomato mix is your go-to for that unique blend of tomato concentrate, fiber, and essential vitamins that makes every meal pop with flavor and color. With Gino tomato mix, you can never go wrong. It gives your meals that deep red appeal, rich texture, and mouth-watering goodness every single time. So go on. Make your next meal unforgettable with a thick, red, rich Gino tomato mix, because Gino truly cares. Now, welcome to Seamless Banking with the Prudential Bank mobile app. Perform instant transactions, link your mobile money wallet, scan GHQR to pay, manage your cards, transfer money between banks, and do so much more. No more banking hours. Download the PBL mobile app now from the app Store, Apple App Store, Google Play Store, and Huawei App Gallery. Visit the Prudential Bank website on social media platforms for more. Prudential Bank, truly dependable. And from Wiggle Vision Limited, Ghana's leading tech company, Comes Frog is the ultimate platform for USSD, OTP, voice, and bulk SMS messaging. So if you're a company, you deal with the large customers, or you are into large groups, you want to be doing bulk SMSs and all of that, please call Wiggle on 0554 170 599. Wiggle.com.gh is the website. 0553 019 529 is an alternative number. Wiggle Vision, empowering businesses one message at a time. There's never been a better time to get things done, and SG Ghana is making it possible. Our low interest loans are back. Yasan Atiso is how we call it. So for all salaried workers, if you're on controller, accountant, general payroll, or you work with and you have the SG Ghana listed, you work with an SG Ghana listed institution, or you're already banking with SG Ghana, it's your time. From now to the end of September, apply and receive a loan from SG Ghana for your personal and business purposes. So call 0302 214 314. Yasante Su promo is on. Terms and conditions apply. And the Office of the Registrar of Companies wishes to issue this final reminder to all registered business owners, company directors, secretaries, and partners of incorporated partnerships in Ghana that there will be no extension beyond 30th June 2025. That's the deadline for the filing of annual returns and the renewal of business names. So you know what to do. Companies who fail to file their annual returns with financial statements shall be deemed non-compliant and will be liable to pay a penalty of 1,000 Ghana cedis in addition to filing fees. The notice to the public is that you're informed that the ORC does not operate any Momo accounts, therefore disregard any such request for Momo payments. If you have any clarity you seeking, call or telegram 059 952 5774. You can visit the office. Their social media handles are ORC Ghana. ORC is a trusted partner for business. This is for business leaders, HR practitioners, researchers, students, or passionate people who are passionate about people, work, and workplaces. The Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management Ghana presents the CIHRM 2025 conference. The theme is Regulating HRM in Ghana, Standards, Ethics, and Sustainability. It's happening from the 18th to the 19th of this month, this year, at Alisa Hotel. The rate is 3,200 for members, 4,000 for non-members, and 2,000 for student members. So register now via the CIHRM website or CIHRM Ghana on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, etc. socials. 0243 278 694 is the number to call for group registrations and discounts. Our sponsors are GCB Bank, Bank of Ghana, Gridco, ECG, VRA, Ghana Airports, Ghana Civil Aviation, Bui Power, NPA, Petroleum Commission, PRC, Impuntu Technologies, and E-Productions. Of course, media partners, Channel 1 Television, Citi FM. CIHRM is transforming work and workplaces.
Mama mo de fawa ko mama me fawa ko mama mo mi die zazi wa ko mama monso me wa peza ma oda oya no kwasem de so do ni wa chonya kura bize ni jere kan de odonti monso shi owumpa nyubo ntime rabe si abotar.
Good morning, bro. I trust you are doing well. This is Patrick, and I met you in this Comac program, and I took your number. Please, this is Awutu Breku. Currently, the past 3 days, these are the situations at Awutu Breku. Unfortunately, the contractor on the route diverted all the water from the route to one area, heading towards the Wartburg Eye Clinic. The whole community is flooded for the past 3 days, and the water continues to rise. Schools are flooded in the area. So I want to draw attention to it. I don't know how you can help in this case to assist us in getting the authorities to be aware and do something about it urgently. If not, the whole community will submerge in the flood. Thank you. It's Kasua, the Winneba Road, the construction. The Winneba Road. But currently, the situations are from Fete all the way to Breku, Awutu Breku. This is where the flood is happening. The whole area for the past 3 days. The water is not even reducing because it's coming from the other areas, from Fete area. The whole place is flooded. And because of the main gutter, contractor has collected all the other channels into that one gutter. So he's taking the water straight to the community. Please, I need your assistance and to help us. Currently, we send some people to the assembly and also to the contractor yard. Since yesterday, I was trying to get in touch with the authorities of the assembly, but nobody is willing to talk about it. So please, can you assist me in this situation? Thank you.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
So that was a listener sending some very troubling videos from the Awutu Breku area. He is attributing the flooding to the rains and the road construction. So if you live in that area, let's know the situation as we speak. Send us videos if you have any. Our team will be coming there to bring you, the listeners, more reports. But he's blaming the road construction, the main Accra Cape Coast road, for causing flooding at Awutu Breku. Awutu Breku. So this is near Senya Breku, right? So this is Awutu Breku. Where is that?
This would be Awutu Senya district.
Okay, so that's Awutu East.
Yes.
So this is Kasua area. Not okay. So this is not Senya Breku. This is Awutu Breku.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's much closer to Kasua. All right. So what is the situation with fuel? We need to clarify a few things. So last 2 weeks, the government decided to implement a levy, 1 cedi per liter, to help deal with Dumso, apparently to help buy power, as in to buy fuel to power some of our plants, and also to help deal with energy sector debts. That was resisted by the minority in parliament, but the matter was passed nonetheless. Then the COMAC, which is the Chamber of Petroleum Marketing Companies, complained about the hasty passage and said they didn't think it would be right to implement this last week, Monday, which was 9th. So the government announced it was going to implement the 1 cedi levy per liter today, the 16th. Over the weekend, tensions in the Middle East escalated, and the Israeli and Iranian governments have been basically at a war of words, which has led to shelling of each other's things. Bloomberg News is now reporting that oil prices have started inching up. What? Now, then, when the government announced the increase, they said that because the cedi had appreciated against the dollar, there was already some reprieve in the ex-pump price of fuel. So they felt that 1 cedi per liter was not going to take things too high, because we had already made some savings. Because let me just explain the way this works. Ghana produces a little bit of crude oil, which we sell because we don't own a lot of it. So the people who produce it sell it to China, to Europe, to wherever, and they don't give any to Tor. So we then go back to Europe and buy finished products, whether it's diesel or petroleum for super, which is dependent on the dollar. So what happens is that our bulk, they call them BDCs, go to the central bank for US dollars to procure finished product that we use in our cars and use to power our plants. So that's the basic economics we do. Now, that's very dollar sensitive. So the more the cedi depreciates against the dollar, the more we pay for fuel. Because then if you needed 10 cedis to buy $1 and it goes to 15, that 15 cedis to buy $1 means that the price of the petroleum that you are using is more expensive for the BDC. So fuel prices in Ghana are very sensitive to the currency. So when the currency gets stronger, fuel prices are supposed to come down, which is what we're hoping to see. Yeah. But in the build up to the cost of fuel, there's also the cost of crude, which is the base sort of number. So we have been in an era of stable crude prices and then an appreciating domestic currency. So that has meant that we will have relatively cheaper fuel to buy. And indeed, some OMCs were selling fuel even below 11, 12 cedis per liter. So then when the government decided to increase or to impose that levy, it was in a time of lower fuel prices. But now that this Middle Eastern tension has begun and the base price, which is the price of crude, has started inching up, the government is now saying they want to suspend the implementation of the levy and monitor the situation in the Middle East. Now, that's where we are. Yeah. Those are the basic facts. I don't know if I've missed out anything. The Ghost Regional, the High Street Journal did some interesting analysis. If you can just read some of the highlights for me. They spoke to Professor William Barboate and a few other people who have asked that Ghana keeps a close eye on the developments in the Middle East. And by the way, Iran, the Middle East is a very interesting place. There's always tension there on two levels. The Israelis and their Arab neighbors are always fighting, the Palestine being the sort of the main point of anger. But there's also Israel and Hezbollah, Israel and Hamas, and these are two groups in neighboring countries, one in Lebanon, the other in Jordan, and one in Syria, that Israel always has issues with. Then there's also Israel's historic tensions with Tehran. All right, now we need to explain that the Middle East itself has another fault line where there are two main Arab groups, the Shiite and the Sunnis. So the most powerful Sunni nation is Saudi Arabia, which has a very strange relationship with Israel because Saudi is probably the US closest ally in the Middle East because of its oil riches. So President Trump, even in this first iteration, went to Saudi Arabia a lot. Now there's also a historic tension between Iran and Saudi Arabia, because Iran is the most powerful Shiite nation and Saudi Arabia is the most powerful Sunni nation. And so that tension is there as well. So for example, in the past when Qatar started having good relations with Iran, some of the Sunni nations were not happy and attempted to even boycott Al Jazeera, which is owned by the Qatari state, because they felt that why is our cousin going to talk to... There was
even a blockade on Qatar, making it very difficult for them to do things for a while.
So we are explaining what's going on. So now that, and again, the other point is that the Middle East produces a lot of our oil. 1/3 of global crude oil is produced in that zone. So each time there's a war, whether it's Iraq or Iran or Saudi or wherever, there's a problem. So once there's a fight between Israel and Iran, it's going to affect global production. Even if it will not affect it directly, it will affect the price because the outlook becomes, oil can become more scarce. Oil prices are doing around $75 per barrel. Yeah. During the first Gulf War in 91, oil prices went above $100 a barrel. So when the US launched their war on terror, oil prices also went above $100 a barrel. When crude prices go above $100 a barrel, it affects everything. So this is where we are. So on one hand, global leaders are trying to move away from fossil fuels So if you look at the EU and all these people, they're talking about why we should go green, why we should need solar, why we should go for EV.
Right.
And we think that's the right idea because the petrodollar has not helped us. Our dependence on crude has not been good. And there's also a slight divide because in the Republican group, the Trump people believe in drill. So they prefer to use more fossil fuels because they also have a lot of oil reserves. All right. And then, of course, the recent tensions means that Ghanaians may have to start paying more for finished product if the trend in oil price increases goes up. Now, let me bring in Nana Amoesi. Is it V, the fifth? Or VI? VI. That's the seventh.
Actually, yeah.
VI, the seventh.
I.
VII.
Yes, please.
So that's the seventh. Okay. Nana Amoesi, the seventh. Who is the chief executive of IES, Institute of Energy Security, to help us understand this confusion that I'm trying to explain. Nana Amoesi, the seventh. Thank you for joining us to talk about this matter. Good morning.
Good morning to you, my brother Bernard, and to your listeners.
We can't catch a break, can we? When we just had a period of relatively stable fuel prices coming down, even tempting government to want to impose the levy, then Iran and Israel have started their thing. Historically, what have Middle Eastern tensions meant for the fuel market generally?
Well, Bernard, like I said, just when we thought that we have some stability in prices, or we're going to see more of drops in domestic fuel prices, a few moments later, an issue outside our domain is seeking to change the narrative or the equation. Yes, the Middle East in particular is a hub of fuel supply and a major hub. It controls close to 45% of the oil that is produced on a daily basis on the world market. And so any challenge, tension that erupts in that space has a tendency to impact on the amount of oil that can be produced. And let's say, for instance, between Iran and the Palestinians, Iran produces oil, and it's quite huge because it sits within the Middle East. And so when this war picks up, the production platform most of the time becomes a target for the tension or for the war. And so they are forced to evacuate some of their stuff. They are forced to shut down some of the production fields that they cannot protect immediately. And that means that we've had a squeeze in terms of the supply that they can put on the world market. Beyond the production, it is also a major route for vessels that move from even Asia to Africa and from Russia to Africa. And so you may have the Suez Canal as a point. You have other choke points around Abu Dhabi. Vessels use that route. And so if should there be a tension between neighbors there, vessels that transit this route are very careful, so they are not caught in the tension. And so they cease movement. Vessels don't move. And that also means that we are going to see a squeeze in how much oil that's going to place on the market. So in terms of production and the shipments of oil, the Middle East plays a key role. And so if there is tension, then we have wahala.
As we speak, oil prices are trading between $74 and $75 a barrel. How quickly do you expect the prices to go up in the coming weeks? What length of time would it take for us to start feeling the pinch?
Well, I'm sure within the next 2 weeks we'll feel it directly. Currently, we are not going to see any prices go up on the domestic markets because it is happening over the last 2 weeks that is depicting what prices should be today for the next 2 weeks. over the last 2 weeks, August prices dropped. That is why LPG price may have to fall. And with Platts prices, that benchmark, there was also some stability. The city behaved a bit well against the dollar. And so we're going to see stability or some drop in fuel prices from today going forward. However, because prices have started rocketing on the world markets, with gauge Platts is rising. Crude oil price using the Brent benchmark, we're seeing it rise to close to 74.2 this morning. As you mentioned, it means that we must brace ourselves for a possible hike in fuel prices over the next 2 weeks. For how long this will stay and how we can manage, we have little to do, or we have little to do to change the narrative. We don't control the tension out there. You can only pray and ask God that it dampens so that they go back to some normalcy. But it's possible that prices will still drop because if negotiation between the two parties is enhanced, then the war is dampened and price they begin to see some,
Do you understand why the government decided to suspend the so-called D-levy on the basis of these 2-3 days of tensions? I think we're on the 4th day. Do you understand? Because the reason we were given officially was that they think that the prices would go up and that the levy would then affect people adversely. Is that a well considered sort of decision?
Yeah, of course, it's a smart move. The prices of our fuel is not just dictated by world market prices. It is also influenced by the margins, the taxes, the levies that are imposed or are intended to be imposed on the products. And so clearly government sees that price is going to go up in the coming weeks based on world market happenings. Should they slap this one city, the gain that we should have experienced from the last 2 weeks happenings will be eroded. Prices will go up automatically. Should they impose it today, it will go up. The next 2 weeks, it is also likely that price will go up again. And so that's a goodwill that they've earned, even though it's been dampened a bit with the introduction of this one city. The goodwill will see, more dip, and it will be more negative for them. I'm sure that's why they found some common sense to suspend the levy, because automatically it will increase fuel price should they impose.
What then happens to all the things they said they wanted to do? They said we needed to procure fuel to power our plants to prevent doomsday, and that we also needed to pay some debts that are accumulated within the power sector. Those seemed pretty urgent at the time this was announced. So now that this has been suspended, does that mean then that our power sector is going to get into crisis? Because the way the minister presented this, when I interviewed him, I think 2 weeks ago, he said we desperately need money to procure some fuel to power some of our plants. I'm not sure that has changed.
Oh, it hasn't changed, Bernard. It stays the same. So it means that they have to find probably extra money to procure the fuel. What government has not done well with is to keep some stock, adequate stock of fuel, both for power plants and for the normal consumption, for normal domestic consumption, for drivers, for farmers and all that. If you go into the tanks of the power plant, yes, there are some stock of fuel, but it's not really high. I'm sure they were waiting to see some revenue coming through this one Ghana City levy so they could shore it up. But they could still have stocked some of this product in the bus system. Today, strategic fuel stock for bus is non-existent. And so anything that happens on the world market, we bear it directly. We have nothing to fall on. We have not seen, and we may not see a higher price in the next window because some BDCs have stocks what over the past 2-3 weeks. We could even have some relief because of this stocking. But then entities like Boss and Tor, if they are not really considered in the equation of energy or fuel supply, then we have security issues to deal with.
Have you heard anything from the new government to suggest that the fortunes of these two entities, Bost, which stores, and Tor, which processes, will change? Because as you've told me many, many times in the past, the long-term strategy for Ghana should include a refining of some of our crude here. For security reasons, we shouldn't be depending on any finished products. Luckily, we have oil fields that are producing crude oil, and we have an oil refinery, one publicly owned one, and there's also a CEN 201. Have you heard anything that suggests that within the next year or two, we will be processing any of our crude domestically?
Well, we have received indication, for instance, for Tor, that government is trying to secure for them crude supply. What they need to do is to bring up the two key refinery units, the RFCC, the residual crude catalytic cracker, and also bring back the primary units, the crude distillation units. Then, of course, they have some guarantee of supply of crude so that they could crack it on tolling basis, not on their books. Somebody brings it in, and then they refine at a fee. And so today, I understand that they put in place a turnaround team that was commissioned last 2 weeks to start working. And the plan is that they should bring up the two units, or at least the crude distillation unit, the primary one, latest the next 3 months. They should bring it online so that they begin to take advantage of the secured crude supply. That is what they need to do for as a country. This is the indication we have received. For Bost, we don't have clarity. Yes, the indication is clear. They are seeking to enhance on the storage and transportation infrastructure. But for the strategic fuel stock, it is hinged on the availability of Lekan, that window of opportunity, that period that is created for a vessel to come in and discharge. We get an indication from IES that they are struggling with Lekan, and that the president has handled on the issue and is seeking to resolve that. If that is done, then of course some level of supply security is achieved.
All right. Nana, thank you so much for your insights as ever. Nana Amoesi the 7th is the Chief Executive or Executive Director of the IES, which is the Institute for Energy Security, that we will not see an immediate impact on export prices. But if the tensions continue and the fight continues, that could lead to, at least in the next couple of weeks, some challenges with pricing. 8:50, what are your thoughts? While we're discussing this, I got another message regarding flooding, which I thought was quite curious. So a lady said that this morning she was on her way to using the so-called tunnel. They call it the underbridge, Community 18. And the whole place was flooded and they had to make a U-turn because it's not motorable. Yeah, even four-wheel drives are unable to use it. She sends me a photo and I was quite surprised that, well, to be fair, I don't know how much rain it rained this weekend where you guys live, but it seems as if a few people had a lot of water to deal with.
Yeah.
So the tunnel, at least at us around 7 o'clock, was no more trouble. I don't know whether right now it is.
Wow. And Bernard, we are learning that there is heavy traffic on the John Tay stretch as well. I'm believing this is going towards what?
So John Tay is Ofanko to Pokwasi.
Yes, correct.
I went to Pokwasi yesterday, and I just need to say something. You know, the road is pretty good up until Pokwasi, but there's a major drop. So when you are coming from Pokwasi back to Ofanko, you know they fixed the new road, and then there's the old road.
Correct.
Somehow they've not smoothened it.
So it's very rough.
Charlie, so here I am just cruising at
and then
70
you get a surprise.
Or 80, and then I hear no.
No warning.
What is this? And I realized that there was a drop. So they should have. I don't know.
Smoothing it off.
Or they should have warned me. This is the thing about Ghana.
A lot of roads actually there's a drop. There's a drop or a rise.
Do you know the tragedy? They don't even tell you anything.
Yeah.
You are just driving.
There's no information about what's happening on the road. And so I'm hoping that you didn't damage your car, which would be at your own cost.
I wasn't going that fast, to be honest with you. And when I was going to the place, there was one as well. That's like a small climb, or I don't know. The thing is just some way, but the road is nice. They should just mark it. You know. But this was a serious drop on the Ofanko side of the road. Yeah. And the thing is, and I'm going back to the issue on the Ewutu Breku thing. Yeah. Once you're starting roads, you need to know that flooding can occur, because the thing is, when you put concrete or bitumen, or you essentially use a hard material on a road, you're redirecting water. So you are effectively causing flooding. So if you don't properly do drainage, and from the video we see from the Ewutu Breku side, either some works that needed to have been done in the area have not been done, or some part has choked, because you've seen water for 3 days in people's houses, and the road is...
The pictures are not looking good, and it's not as if the water is even stagnated in the homes. Like, it's moving with a lot of force on the roads and within the catchment of its course. I think that's disturbing. But Bernard, this is not the first time this will be happening. You remember last year, around the same month, on the 6th of June, there was a report that the contractor had diverted the course of a river body, and that had caused some massive floods. We did live coverage of that particular thing. It caused a lot of delays and stress.
That was because the silt from the hills had come onto the road.
So he diverted that. And then we spoke about that a long time.
I remember.
Remember, right?
I remember
so
that.
for this to also be happening now, it just tells you that once the rains are starting, where the construction works are going to happen will suffer a bit. Some anticipation ahead of time and some remedial measures would have helped. But here's the case that even moving from a smooth road to another, you are not told. So some of these things, we really want to appeal to the contractors. NAG Fairmont is the one on this particular one. Like I said the other time, when I used the road 2 weeks ago or 3, I was impressed with the pace of work, even though those who live there will not be too impressed with the dust and all that inadvertent causes of the process. So some of these remedial measures are necessary, because the videos I'm seeing of flooded homes, flooded neighborhoods,
it's terrible.
It's really not
and the
cool.
funny thing is, when the weather is dry, we say the person should pour water on the road. Then when it rains, it causes flooding.
Something else must be done.
Meanwhile, here's a listener who says, Bernard, I've been in the Ofanko Achimota traffic for over 2 hours now. Nothing seems to be showing the course. So I was asking, are you going or coming? The person, I'm heading towards Achimota. And I don't know. You know, I suspect that maybe a truck has broken down. On the... I'm just suspecting. Because, you know, the thing about the Ofanko to Achimota road is that it's a fixed road and there's no way out. So once you join that road and there's something broken down on it, you can't come out. You know.
Also, the rains have made the roads really bad. Those that were patched, they have gone bad, and those that had potholes, now they have gullies.
You know what I would have suggested? You know this road between Achimota and Ofanko that essentially is a highway with no exit. I felt like they should have made some parts possible that if there's a choke, maybe the urban roads can open it up.
Then you can just exit.
Get it? So that maybe they could have made some detachable, so that maybe you can lock it. So when there's a major blockade, then they can just go and open it because you cannot build a road, especially when you don't have a towing system in your country. You know, because that's a security threat. If an articulated truck falls on its side and covers the road, there's nothing people can do. Because the way the road is built, you can't go back. So for me, we need to apply a bit more thinking to what we do generally. We need to apply a bit more thinking and a bit more human-centered design. Right, because even the Ofanko Pokwasi road is a nice road, but they've not even finished the road. So there's no marking, there's no street light. You are driving at night. You know, the way I went on the drop, and sometimes when it rains, the other thing I'll say, when it rains, sometimes water covers the potholes. Everything. So you can be driving, and if you see, and I need to say this to drivers: if you're driving and you see stagnant water, don't speed through it. It could be the worst thing you can do. In fact, yesterday on Achimota Road, there's a whole part where about 2/3 of the road had been taken over by water. never speed through stagnant water on a road, because you could damage your car. The water can pull you. You can die. So let's take this
seriously. I had an experience like that. So I didn't, because it was, we don't have street lights.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even see the puddle. So I was driving and it's raining. Mm-hmm. I didn't see the puddle, and I hit the puddle. My car kind of spun in the road.
Yeah.
It's very easy for it. I mean, because it's also dark sometimes. You can't see. So
I'm being told traffic is way from Ofanko, very heavy. There's no broken down track, both outer and inner lanes. Traffic. Well, the guy sends a very nice aerial photo that shows that it's a massive traffic blockade. Let's read some quick comments on this as we get ready for our next segment.
Okay, this one says, on Kaswa Road, there are culverts across which empty into the open, not directed into drains. Houses nearby are experiencing severe erosion and making the road to their homes unmotorable. Please, the design and construction should look at this disaster too. Thank you. Bernard, did you also observe the overgrown grass in the median of the road? The assembly needs to wake up. Good morning, and this is Daniel from Pokwase. Good morning, Citi. In Saom to Sapeman Road, very bad, taking about 1 hour. In addition, heavy traffic at Amasaman and John Tay to Achimota, which Caleb was referring
Something is
to.
obviously happening on that road this morning. Let's read a few more comments. 054-998-6996.
Okay.
Bernard, the road was not really built well. When it rains heavily, the water takes over the road. I don't know whether you're talking about the Central Region Road or the Pokwase or Fanko Road. Please clarify.
And there's some detail here from my friend Mame. She says a part of the main road between St. John's and Mile 7 is flooded. This is the cause of the traffic on the John Tay Achimota Street.
Oh yes, yesterday when I was coming back, I told you about 2/3 of the road was flooded. It was mud and water, so we had to slow down. So on that highway, I don't know how the water got on there.
It's the same place. If you're like coming on the Kumasi Accra,
yeah,
and it's like near Mile 7.
Yes,
that's the same place I hit there, because it was dark, so I didn't know.
And you were speeding
because it's a highway.
Always be on the left side.
But I found out the hard way. So
no, it's serious.
Next time I'm on that road, now when I'm on that road, I stay on the left side if it's raining.
And by the way, has the contractor gone back to site?
This
for the Amasaman Road.
I need
because
to
the Ofanko Pokwase side is nearly done. It's just the markets that have not done. But the main road that takes you to Sapeman to Kuntunse, we don't know if they are done. Because there was a criticism that the contractor had left site and gone to the motorway.
True.
It's because the same contractor. And motorway is proceeding very, very quickly. Yeah. It's not Sky. It's
Ofanko.
It's Maripoma. First Sky is Kwabinya to Ashesi.
Apologies.
Yes,
that's right.
So this is Maripoma Engineering Limited, MEL. They are doing aggressive work on the motorway. I mean, when I use the motorway, I'm always happy. They are speeding, to finish the motorway. But the Fanco people, I don't know what's happening to you guys this morning. Good morning, please. Can you use your platform to alert the right people in authority to fix the road leading to the Pantan Hospital? Patient conditions get worse when arriving. Bernard, there's a broken down track just for Achimota overhead, Wafaje. Well, so maybe there's a broken down track and there's also water.
Flooding and all of that.
Yeah.
And I think just to veer off a bit, something else that happens when the rains come is that they wash the plastics and the filth from the gutters, open gutters onto the road. So this morning, from the American House towards the flower pot?
Yes.
You can see it's almost as if it's a decoration along the road.
Bola.
There's rubbish everywhere.
So where are the assemblies doing?
That's the question.
But
wait. Let's ask that. Why should there be refuse on our roads?
It's a problem.
What are the assemblies doing?
It's a problem.
What are the assemblies doing? I'm asking again.
Well, they were sitting in the gutters before the rains brought them out.
It's a big
What
problem.
is it? Is it that they don't have money to work? Is it there's no
Bernard, while we are at it, I want to talk to Ghanaians. We should stop this thing.
You can't take your
time. You see,
take your time, my brother.
No, they just throw the rubbish there. You say, madam, you can't do that. And they ask you, say, no, you cannot do that. It's a shared space. It belongs to all of us. You can't drink and throw from your car and just put it in the gutter. Who do you expect to go clean up for you? Of course, we are all responsible for our spaces and all. And the public spaces, shared spaces, our assemblies have a responsibility to clean up those places. But once you clean, someone in his right senses will just eat and throw the thing out there.
Caleb, I don't know where I was last week, but I think a rubbish carrying tricycle had broken down and dumped.
Oh, very normal. It's very normal.
And left, and it actually left the thing near the road and went.
And they just left.
You know, I think it was a motorway, and nobody is going. So I think our assemblies need to really wake up. All right, I'm going to read a few comments, and then we'll turn our attention to what you need to do as an SME, or what you need to know. You know, it's called the law and your business. My guest will be speaking to us. It's called Jonathan Amable. And today is our third week. Basic legal education for SMEs. Lawyers near.
I'll be tuned in, definitely. In fact, I'll stay here.
Basic legal education for SMEs. It says from business conceptualization to registration to fundraising to even liquidation, you need your lawyers. So everybody needs a pocket lawyer. But are you an entrepreneur looking for meaningful business ownership opportunities? Do you have dreams to provide water in a more sustainable way? Worry no more. Partner with Jibu through our franchise network. With 50,000 cities, you can receive the equipment, training, and support needed to launch your own business, purifying and selling affordable, refillable drinking water. Let the dream become a reality. We have an exciting offer for new customers and businesses. We provide free bottles and dispenser machines for corporate businesses. So you want to start smaller, you can also become a Jibu distributor or reseller in your area. Join the movement and start your journey towards a better life. For orders and enquiries, visit our website www.jibuco.com/gh or call 0302 528 669. That's 0302 528 669 or 0209 845 817. Jibu, a better life. If you're looking for a little more in life, the Absa Abapa account is designed for people like you who work hard and deserve more for less. With the Absa Abapa account, you get a free GH Link card, access to loans up to 50,000 cedis, high interest on savings. So you can use the 50,000 loan to start the Jibu business. See how it works. Free SMS alerts, seamless mobile and online banking, etc. If you are looking for more value, more peace of mind, and more control over your money, then Absa Abapa is just the account for you. You spoke and we heard. DSTV has cooked something absolutely amazing for you. An upgrade to the next higher package on us. That's right. All you need to do is to pay your subscription today and get an instant upgrade onto the next higher package for free. Enjoy the FIFA Club World Cup Best of Drama, awesome entertainment for kids, reality shows, novellas, epic Ghanaian talent, family fun, and the best live sport. Pay using *759# or any of our payment options. This promo is available from now till 31st July. Terms and conditions apply. DSTV, your home of entertainment. Sky, the people from your area are complaining.
Okay.
They say they have been stuck in traffic from Ofanko to Achimota. Nobody's going, nobody's coming.
Yep. You know, this complaint came in last week. It has got to do with a number of things. The condition of the road is terrible. The contractors appear to have virtually abandoned site. And so the rains have come in to virtually destroy that particular stretch, especially areas that they have not properly attended to. So what it means is that it is difficult to navigate through from Sawam when you're coming towards the old toll booth area. And then after the toll booth, the Sapeman area, you know, portions of the road have been made, portions have not been made. So it is horrifying using that road. And Bernard, this is the road that connects, you know, the national capital to the second biggest
city,
you know, city in the whole of Ghana. So it's troubling that despite the minister's directive to the contractors to return to site, we are not seeing the kind of urgency that you would expect to be attached to that stretch of road. It is disappointing because Kumasi contributes hugely to the growth of this country, or the Ashanti region contributes hugely to the GDP of this country. And the vehicles and services serving that corridor are in such a terrible road, then there's a serious problem. So I think there has got to be some urgency attached to the word.
All right, we'll take a short break. When we come back, the lawyers will take over. They say what you need to know before you start your business from the law perspective. Basic legal education for example is my friend Jonathan Amable is the managing attorney for LNF Legal Advisors, and he's joining us to talk about that as part of our City Business Festival, brought to you by Absa Bank, MTN Business, and Zonda Technology. Stay with us.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Hey, of course. You know we have been friends since childhood, and we always tell each other everything.
Oh, Cynthia, I know that. And that is why you're my best friend.
We even eat together, and I have spare keys to your room. I also know your phone password.
Cynthia, don't I also know your phone password?
Yes, so. But what about your Momo PIN?
Hey, no way.
Indeed, Akos. Your Momo PIN is your secret. Do not share your PIN for any reason or give your PIN to someone to send cash on your behalf. Debida, never give out your PIN or OTP as a means of claiming a so-called promotional prize one. Your PIN is like your toothbrush. It only belongs to you. Stay alert.
MTN.
On the go, night or day. PBL app is the easiest way. Bank secure, bank with ease. Right at your fingertips, bank is a breeze. PBL app making banking so clear. Anytime, anywhere, we're here. Safe, secure, banking for you. PBL app, simple and true.
Welcome to the future of banking. The Prudential Bank mobile app. Bank secure anytime. Right from your phone. Access your accounts 24/7. Perform instant transactions. Pay bills. Link mobile money wallets. Scan and pay with GHQR. Manage your cards. Make seamless GIP interbank transfers. All with ease. No more banking hours. Take control and app your banking. Experience simple, secure and convenient banking. Download the PBL mobile app now. PBL mobile app. App your banking.
Hey, so what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It'd be very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement. Unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
For more.
Get ready for more. More goals, more drama, more nail-biting edge of your seat. Oh my word, did you see that? 32 teams, 63 matches, one unmissable tournament. The all-new FIFA Club World Cup on SuperSport.
Human resource is crucial for Ghana's development. The Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management Ghana presents CIHRM 2025 Conference under the theme Regulating HRM in Ghana, Standards, Ethics and Sustainability. Date 18th to 19th June 2025. Venue Alisa Hotel, Northridge, Accra. Conference fees: members 3,200 Ghana cedis, non-members 4,000 Ghana cedis, student members 2,000 Ghana cedis. For sponsorship, partnerships, special discounts, call 024-327-8694 or 020-811-2644 today. Sponsors: GCB, VRA, Gridco, NPA, Ghana Airport, We Power Authority. Media partners: Channel 1 TV and Citi FM. CIHRM 2025 Conference, transforming work and workplaces. Be there.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Welcome to another week of your on-air series for the Citi Business Festival 2025. This week we're focused on small and medium-sized enterprises known as SMEs. We're talking about finance. Today we're talking law. We're asking what basic legal things you need to know in starting your company, registering your company, licensing your company, raising capital, and becoming prosperous. I have a very interesting guest who will be helping us appreciate these matters. Don't forget, the on-air series for Business Festival for 2025 is brought to you by Absa Bank, MTN, and Zonda Tech. Stay with us. Welcome back. So today we're discussing law, and therefore I've brought a lawyer, a private legal practitioner who runs LNF Legal Advisors. Jonathan K. Amabele is my guest. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
Wonderful. So what are you, a lawyer who does business or a businessman who does law?
I am a lawyer at the intersection of law, business, and finance.
I like this.
Yeah.
So law, business, and finance.
Yes. There's a great man, Nigel Boardman. He's a celebrated English lawyer. He said that the forces of capitalism depend on corporate law.
I like that.
And development is moved by corporate law. If you want to develop a country, grow economy, you need your corporate law to work. So if you are in the corporate space, the transactional space, you're standing at the intersection between law and how law is enabling business so that individuals can prosper, companies can prosper, and the country can prosper.
Because corporate finance will not work without corporate law.
Exactly.
It works in the rules. So today we're talking about small business. And just to be, in the work you do you come across small business a lot?
Yes. Ghana, we normally say that small and medium-scale enterprises are the backbone of our economy. Most of our companies are small and medium-scale enterprises. In fact, the Companies Act regulations have been published under the Companies Act, which are the company regulations, and they provide the Office of the Registrar of Companies with a guide to determine how to know whether a company is small, medium, or large. So according to that guide, if your revenue, your annual revenue is up to 400,000, or you have assets worth up to 400,000, you are a small company. If you have more than 400,000 but less than 10 million, you are a medium company, so in terms of revenue or assets. And if you're above 10 million, then you're a large company. So if we look at companies in Ghana, we can be able to see where most of them fall, and small and medium.
To help us do this, maybe if you can structure the conversation around the various stages of a business: ideation and creation, licensing, I think registration, raising capital, and then, of course, succeeding and deciding to exit, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me, in terms of the ideation side, the creation of a business, are there any specific things we need to know legally to help us?
Yes, I would say that it usually depends on what you set to achieve and what you are doing. The legal forms that we have, really, we have sole proprietorships, which are essentially not incorporated entities, right? So those are typically your mom and pop shops and small ventures. Then you have partnerships where a number of people come together to decide to, work together as partners. And then you have companies. Now, a client came to me, she wanted advice, and she had already set up an entity, but when she gave me a contract because she wanted me to review, and she's doing very serious business, and she was set up as a sole proprietorship. So I said, why did you do that? She said, she doesn't really know. It's just happening. And I said, no, because if you're doing serious business, you should know that business goes together with risk. Now, the concept of the company is that the company has been created in order to hedge risk. If you are working as a sole proprietorship, it means that your personal assets are exposed because there's no separate personality. If you are working as a partnership, not only are your personal assets exposed for your own liabilities, but you are even liable for the faults of your partners. So as a partnership, where your partner undertakes a venture or something and there's a liability, all the partners are responsible. So with these kinds of structures, you typically have unlimited liability. But a company is really where, if you're doing serious business and you want to hedge that risk, you would typically use a company. So apart from certain professionals, like let's say lawyers, accountants, other professionals, we are in professions where, by our rules, we need to have unlimited liability.
Yeah.
So it would either be partnerships or sole proprietorships, or if we incorporate companies, the companies will be unlimited companies. Otherwise, you'll be a limited company and you'll be private or you'll be public, depending on the number of shareholders that you have.
I see.
So I would say that if you are doing serious business, you should really be going for the structure, which is the company, and have a limited liability company, unless, of course, by your professional rules, you need to be an unlimited
in sharing
company.
the risk and going what you call limited liability, do you need then other people to be shareholders, or the fact that you've created an entity called a company is enough to hedge you?
Yes, so the fact that you've created a company is enough. We say we have what we call the separate legal personality principle when it comes to companies, which is that once you have a company, the company is separate from its shareholders. So whatever the company is undertaking in terms of business, it's only the company, it's only the company's assets, and your liability as a shareholder is only to the extent that you have not fully paid for your shares. So you can incorporate a company in Ghana by our rules. You can have only a company with only one shareholder. Okay, and but that company must have at least 2 directors. So that one shareholder, in terms of his capital, he can also have incorporated a company by fully paying the amount that he has committed to pay at the beginning, or he can decide that he will pay later. So capital can be fully paid up at the beginning, or it can be a liability and subject to call. So as a shareholder, you're only liable to the extent that you've not fully paid on your capital.
So beyond the incorporation conversation, is that so? The registration and incorporation is the same, right?
Yes. So I mean, it depends, because, for instance, if you are a sole proprietorship, you will be registered, because the incorporation really goes with the fact that you are creating some kind of personality. Partnerships are also registered, but then companies are incorporated. And even with companies, if you are an external company, let's say there's a company is operating outside, it wants to have a branch, what we call a branch company in Ghana, it will register as an external company.
I see. So those are the basics when of the Office of the Registrar of Businesses.
Registrar of Companies,
that's
yes,
what's done.
yes.
What about things like business operating permit? So, for example, you go to a barber shop, you notice they display a few things. So even though they're registered, there's something to do with the assembly and stuff. Is that also done at the level of the Registrar of Companies, or these are local matters?
Well, so now, due to changes that have been made, you can actually apply for your business operating permit simultaneously with your incorporation application. But if you have it already, you can say you have it already, or if you will do it subsequently, you have that option. But these are post-incorporation matters. So the incorporation stage is really, you're incorporating either one shareholder, at least 2 directors, your secretary, your auditors, you have all that information, you form a company. And then once the company is formed, then the next stage would be registration or licenses. Now, if you are in a regulated space, that is the point that you now go to your regulator and get your licenses. If you're not in a regulated space, there are the general ones which would apply anyway. One of them is what you've mentioned, which is the business operating permit, because under our Local Governance Act, companies are required to register with the various MMDAs under which they are operating. So if you have a company, that company has several branches, it means for each of these branches, you must get a business operating permit from the relevant MMDA. That goes with paying of a levy. So you get that. So that's for the local governance side. Then you typically also be operating from a building. That building, you need to get a fire certificate for the building. You typically also need to get your commercial insurance for the building. So you do that as well. In this day and age where a lot of us are processing personal data, it means that you need to go to the Data Protection Commission.
Oh my God.
You need to register and get the registration from the Data Protection Commission. So, and then you have employees. You need to register for SNIT.
Wow.
Then you know that our compulsory pensions are in 2 tiers.
Have you started making money?
Yes, you haven't started making money.
I'm just thinking about, Charlie, I mean, this is a lot.
You haven't started making money.
I haven't even started selling anything.
This is from day one.
Hey.
This is from day one, you know. Then you need to go and make sure that you've registered with SNIT and your tier 2.
That's if I have employees.
Yeah, if you have employees. Even if you don't have employees, they'll tell you if it's just you.
Yeah, of course, that's simpler, right, for myself.
And then, you know, nowadays we've fused the process of getting tax registrations with the incorporation. So once you're incorporated,
that makes it easier.
You get a tin for
that's
your company.
Very important.
Yes, but then again, also, if you are going to be having revenue of about 200,000 or more, then you know that VAT is also going to come in. So then you need to go and register for VAT as well. So these are the regulatory webs that are coming up, and that makes business a bit tough.
Especially when we say people should formalize. Now you're telling me to do all this. Now, let me give you an example. So let's assume I'm even going to do food, maybe yogurt, that I'm putting in a bottle. I may need to get FDA.
You definitely need to get FDA.
Right? So I've done sole proprietorship for this yogurt business, and then I have gotten a business operating permit on the side. I'm working with maybe 2 people. So I probably register them for SNIT. My local authority gives me the BPO, or BOP.
Yeah.
Now I have to go to FDA.
Yes.
To give me a license to handle food.
Yes. And going to FDA will not be, and this is, the more complex areas are the ones, the places, the companies that are operating within regulated spaces. Because if you go to FDA, for instance, FDA is going to now run you through a longer list of things. Sometimes they may say, you can't even come as a sole proprietorship, come as a company. Then now you need to do certain things. You need to get a food hygiene permit. You need to go through Environmental Protection Agency. So that list can become even longer, and that's the regulatory labyrinth that applies when you're doing business.
That's interesting. And we haven't started making money yet.
You haven't started making money.
Whoa. So at what point does corporate governance come in?
So I would say will be the third step, right?
Okay.
You've got your company or your business set up. You've now got your licenses. Then now, corporate governance really is about the systems that you put in place to ensure that the company is complying with the requisite legal and other standards that it needs to comply with. So under corporate governance, you would have what we call ongoing compliance obligations. Okay, and that is where the path can get even steeper for SMEs, because then it comes with obligations, whether it's quarterly filings, monthly filings at SNIT, monthly filings at GRA, yearly filings, you know, with the Office of the Registrar of Companies. Okay. And this is in respect of the annual returns. I saw last week that the Office of the Registrar of Companies have issued some statement to say that June is the deadline for filing of. So if you're a company,
June 30th.
Yes, if you're a company, you need to file your annual returns every year. And if you are a business, so let's say you are a registered business, you need to renew. So when it comes to these sole proprietorships, they need to renew their business registration every year. But when it comes to the companies, they need to do the, what do you call that? They need to do the annual returns. So you have all these kinds of obligations that come in for an ongoing basis. And from last year, there's been what the economist calls an anti-red tape revolution. Which they say that all around the world, especially because of the economic turmoil that we've been going in, countries are focusing on growth.
Yes.
We need economic growth. And what is pulling back in economic growth? A lot of red tape,
bureaucracy.
A lot of bureaucracy.
I mean, I'm even discouraged. I want to start a company, but the way you're talking,
a lot of red tape, a lot of bureaucracy flow from Trump and his Department of Government Efficiency to Milley to Modi in India. You see a lot of people, the EU promised to cut down on regulation by about 25%.
Very important.
We are kind of seeing something like that in Ghana.
Okay.
So the ORC, under the regulations, okay, they have created certain exemptions. So, for instance, for small and medium companies, they don't need to file annual returns anymore.
Okay.
and this is something that is probably not being
Spoken about a
highlighted
lot, yes.
enough. Okay, that small and medium companies don't need to file annual returns. They just need to send a statement to the ORC to confirm that the information that you have is accurate. Because really, this business of filing annual returns and things like that is really just a way for the regulators to have up-to-date information about the businesses. Okay, and it is a bother. It takes a lot of administrative work to always have to provide this static information, especially when some of these things have not changed. So at least in relation to annual returns, small and medium companies don't have to do that. In relation to small companies, there's a requirement for having audited financial statements. Now, in relation to small companies, there's been a waiver that has been given so that small companies don't need to have annual financial statements that have been audited by auditors. Okay, they can have their financial statements, but they just need to get a report from their own internal auditor to confirm that that is fine. So at least we are seeing some respite there. Yeah.
Let me take a breather. This is a lot to take in. This is the Citi Business Festival on a series. This is our third week. We're talking about SMEs and the law. My guest is a legal practitioner who has a lot of things to share with us on the basics you need to know about law to run your company. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is your on-air series for Citi Business Festival 2025. Brought to you by Absa Bank, MTN, and Zonda Tech Ghana. My guest is a legal practitioner, Jonathan Kea-Mable of LNF.
Yeah.
Legal. It almost sounds like LBF, Law, Business, and Finance. This is LNF.
Yeah. This is Law and Finance.
Law and Finance.
Yes.
Amazing. We're talking about basic law for small businesses, creation, licensing, corporate governance. At what point do I think about intellectual property? So let's assume I'm creating something. I'm in a creative space. Maybe I'm coming up with some proprietary technology I'm building an app, or I'm a fintech. Do I need to register that thing at some point? So even though I haven't started selling, because I have something I believe is so unique, what would you advise me to do at which stage should I start registering it as IP?
So I mean, intellectual property is a lot of it, depending on what it is really contractual, right?
Okay.
So for instance, since you've given creative space, we can talk about music.
Yeah.
I represent lawyers.
Yeah.
Stoneboy is one of my clients.
Yeah.
Right? What do you do when you are creating music and the music is going out there? How do you protect, for instance, your interest in the music? You need to make sure that you have your contracts with your producers, with your artists, with your label that clearly allocates who owns what.
Correct.
So that in terms of copyright, you don't need to register the copyright anywhere for the copyright to take effect. Okay, in terms of copyright law, once the thing has been created, the copyright exists. So you need a contractual framework to fix who owns it and to draw the lines clearly. When it comes to things like trademarks and patents, those are the ones that you need to go and register. So, for instance, your logos, your trademarks, patents, those ones after incorporation, after you are in business, there's something worth protecting over there. So you go to the relevant office and then you get that registration done. But for copyrights, you just really need to focus on your documentation to make sure that you fix everything properly.
Let's talk about raising capital. So presumably most people who start a business have some money. But as the business begins to grow, you think about how to get more money. What do I need to do from a legal perspective?
So when it comes to raising capital, and that's an area that we really play in a lot, that is where you would actually see the relevance of corporate governance and some of these issues that we've been talking about. Okay. If you are raising capital, the people who are going to invest in you, if they are serious individuals or serious companies, they are going to want to at least do two things. They're going to do a financial due diligence on you, which is going to check your books, check how much money you are making, see how viable the business is. Then you're going to do a legal due diligence on you. The legal due diligence is going to check what are the various regulatory obligations that you have. Are you meeting them? Because if you're not meeting them, there's probably a risk somewhere. There's a risk that your license may be revoked. There's a risk that your business may be shut down, and that obviously is going to hit the investor hard. Just before coming for this meeting, they were talking about the NCA's revocation of certain licenses for radio stations. One of the reasons that I heard being propagated was the lack of a fire certificate. So the compliance and the ongoing obligations, they are very important. So at the capital raising stage, two things that are important: making sure that your books are well prepared, that they give an accurate reflection of your accounts, of your cash flow, and then the legal side, which is making sure that all the regulatory issues that you have, okay, you are keeping good documentation, you are making sure that you are on top of all these things, and then your material business contracts and all of that, making sure that all your assets are properly protected. When you do this, any bank, whether it's going to be a debt financing or it's going to be equity investment, at least these things will be checked. And sometimes some of these things, if you have all of them, done properly, it reduces the risk that is involved in investing in you. In Ghana, we have a problem which in terms of debt, because access to credit for the private sector is a really serious thing, and it seems like most SMEs feel shut out from the traditional banking system. I do a lot of work for venture capitals and private equity firms, and one thing that the DDEP did is that it really showed Ghana how risky we had been living, because everybody thought government securities were risk-free. Everybody was parking money there. After DDP, everybody woke up and said, hey, wait, the real sector of the economy needs money. They are the ones doing the work that will push us forward. They have tangible assets that we can grab, in case there's a default. So now we are seeing a lot more interest in what they call the alternative asset classes, where pension funds and other entities are investing money in PE and VC companies, and these entities are in turn looking for companies. There's a lot of focus on the SME to give them debt, to give them equity, and these guys would definitely always check that at least all these legal requirements that you have, you've done them. If you've not done them, it's either going to reduce the money that's given to you, or it's going to lead to certain covenants and things that will put in the documentation to make sure that the investments are protected.
Wow. So a lot of the things you do from step 1 to step 3 to enable step 4 be easy.
Exactly.
So even though initially you don't see why you are doing all this corporate governance stuff, if you need to raise money, people need to know that you are solid.
When it's time for you to raise money, that's when you see how you've missed out on an opportunity, because the legal due diligence, somebody has likened it to a colonoscopy. It can be so painful.
My God.
Where the lawyers are requesting, where is this requirement, where is that requirement? And in Ghana, sometimes we can have a cavalier approach towards regulation. Oh, what is this? This thing is not necessary. Oh, you are big book long. But the day that the regulator holds you will realize that we really live in an ordered society. So making sure that the corporate governance and all these things are in check is very important.
You spoke about dissolution, and I'm not sure a lot of people think about that. In the Western world, usually people raise money, build companies, and sell. So there's a lot of legalese around dissolution. Here, people don't sell their companies generally. They want to die in their socks. So is it even relevant for us?
It's relevant in the sense that at the end of the day, there are a lot of, when you go to even at the ORC, there are a lot of companies that are sitting on its books that are not running. And I think Ghanaians typically like to just leave the companies for dead. But the thing is that once you leave it going on like that, there are regulatory requirements and things that are racking up, and there are penalties and fines that are racking up, and as directors, you could be liable. So dissolution is very, very important. And the dissolution part of it is, at the end of the day, how do we go about it? Do we make sure that you can at least have 2 steps? There's a step where we call dissolution without full winding up, which is a less painful step. It doesn't need to go through appointment of liquidators. And then there's the dissolution with the full winding up. With that, you need to appoint liquidators. They're going to liquidate all the assets of the company, distribute everything, and then after that, you can exit. Most of the companies or most of the investors that think of exits, really, what they do is once they enter into the investment, there will be an agreement in place, where there's a shareholders agreement or something, who is going to spell out the terms. At the end of the day, we can exit, for instance, by listing the company. So we float the shares, I sell, I'm out. Or we can exit by selling to other entities. So there's a lot of what we call mergers and acquisitions side of work. There's a lot of M&A activity where lots of companies are exiting, lots of investors are exiting, and new ones are replacing them. In this tough period that we've had with the economy, a lot of foreign investors, for instance, have exited their investments in Ghana. I went to an event, I met an investor. He said, look, our mother company has a policy. We cannot invest in a company where the country's credit rating is below a certain, rating. So once you have things like that, there's always people there are always going to be people who will be exiting, and there will always be people who are looking to buy. So that is really what happens.
A lot of friends come to me and say they formed a company and they want somebody to be on the advisory board. They don't talk about a board. What's the difference?
So that's actually a thing that I typically advise clients against, because in Ghana, our structure is that in terms of corporate governance, you have the management, then you have the board of directors, and they report to shareholders. Now, the board of directors, that's supposed to be the seat of all the thinking, all the planning of the company. They are the ones supposed to take those high policy decisions. When you have these advisory boards, typically what they do is they act as a shadow board, and that is actually against our laws.
Is it?
Our laws actually have penalties for having shadow directors, because the directors must be independent, the directors must exercise their own judgment, must take full responsibility for whatever action is part of their fiduciary duties as directors. So whoever you are having as an advisory board really must just be somebody giving counsel, advice, and not somebody on whose decisions you are actually relying.
So advisory board could work for, say, an NGO, but for a company, you need a board, a proper board.
I mean, across the whole gamut, for NGOs, for any type of company, being a director comes with fiduciary duties. Those fiduciary duties mean that you are supposed to be the one at the helm of affairs. You are supposed to be the one who takes independent decisions on behalf of the company, acting in the way a reasonable person would, but also to the best of your abilities. So with this, there's a high duty that is placed on directors. And that high duty, directors should not be having things like advisory boards that are parallel structures running beside them to show them or on whose advice they are acting.
So a board is a board.
A board is a board. A board is a board. It's a full board, and that is the seat of corporate governance. If corporate governance will work well in Ghana, a lot of people would actually hesitate before taking on roles as directors, because being a director comes with such high duties, and the penalties are quite serious. In other countries, they are taken more seriously. In Ghana, we have the laws, and like I always say, whenever the law decides to hold you responsible, you realize that there's really not even much of a difference between an executive director and a non-executive director and things like that, because as a director of a company, you take full responsibility for the company. Your duties even extend all the way to the financial reporting of the company. In Ghana, a lot of people would leave that and say, oh, that's for the auditors or that's for the managing director. But when you look at our laws, even the financial reporting, that is why the directors are the ones who sign the financial statements of the company.
Wow.
So it's quite serious work. And to be a director, you must take it upon yourself to have at least a rudimentary understanding of the business of the company, a rudimentary understanding of the laws that govern the company's operations.
Final question. At what point do I need a lawyer? Beginning, middle, or end of the process?
So I tell you, I went for a mixer. It was a fintech mixer, and I met a CEO of a fintech company. So we introduced ourselves. She said, oh, what do you do? I said, I'm a lawyer. She said, well, you lawyer, what are you doing at this fintech event? I said, every business needs lawyers. You need lawyers at the establishment space. You need them at the licensing stage. You need them for corporate governance and ongoing regulatory compliance. And you need us for raising capital at the very least. Sir, it's true. I'm even at the Bank of Ghana. They have taken us on some issue. I said, you see, this take my card. You really need me.
Quick.
And that's the point. We are useful at every stage. At LNF, we say that we are your trusted advisors at every stage of your corporate
Can a small
journey.
business afford a lawyer? At what point? because large companies have lawyers. So somebody's there starting something. So are there legal firms that can help small SMEs?
Oh, yes. Ghana is largely SME run.
Okay.
So lawyers help SMEs all the time.
Okay.
If you are small, we'll be with you. We'll help you
grow
to
with
grow.
us.
Yeah,
We'll take it like that.
At the end of the day, we'll all benefit, and the country be better.
LNF is where he works. His name is Jonathan Kiamable. He writes sometimes, and we are really happy to talk to him. So, thanks for watching today's edition of the On Air series brought to you by Absa Bank, MTN, Business, and Zonda Technology. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Burna Boy, Trevor Noah, Black Coffee, Chimamanda the writer, Febe Mugugu the fashion designer, and many more young African icons didn't get where they are by following mainstream paths. They did things differently. Say yes to doing things differently. Say yes to the creative person within you, the maker, innovator, entrepreneur. Chart a new path, learn new skills, globally recognized by the American Welding Society and Pearson's BTech. So whether in Ghana or abroad, you will shine. Say yes to DTI, a learning experience that is next level. Go to dtiafrica.com or call 054-169-3534.
As a busy professional, I struggled with back and neck strain from long hours at my desk. To improve my focus, productivity, and well-being, I sought expert advice from the CEO of Expert Office Furnish.
After being in the furniture business for 25 years, I can tell you two things that causes back pain in the workspace: bad sitting posture and not sitting on a good chair. I recommend to you the Genedia Beeper chair, the chair that helps you to sit right. When you don't sit right, it beeps for you to be able to sit right. The next will be the Enjoy chair. It takes every body shape and size. Buy a chair that will support your back and give you that comfort to be able to deliver on your job.
Expert Office Furnish offers molding furniture for comfort, productivity, and style. From seating to customized solutions, plus interior decoration services, they've got it all. Find them off the Atomic Hills Estate Road in Ashonman or call 0571 386602 on Facebook and Instagram at Expert Office Furnish.
Oh, right into the pond.
Of course, a pro indeed, Andy.
Another message? Oh, wait, not again.
Why, what's wrong?
We've exceeded our fuel budget by 15,000 Ghana cedis this month. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, that's crazy. Just for a few vehicles?
Exactly. We spend so much on fuel, but I don't even know where it's going.
I had the same problem until Instroma GPS saved me. Their fuel monitoring system stops fuel theft and wastage, saving me thousands, bro.
Really?
Yeah. It paid for itself in months. Plus, I get monthly reports that track every drop of fuel. Hey, I'm not gonna lose God. Take control of your fuel costs today. Get a free demo of Instroma's fuel monitoring system. Call 024-676-7662 now. Instroma GPS. Your choice. Your savings.
Charlie, where are you?
Bossman, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Wale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Imagine waking up to serenity every day, surrounded by nature's beauty and luxury at your fingertips in a gated estate you can be proud to call your home. Welcome to Western Villas, located at Ai Mensa, where our stunning homes redefine elegance. At Western Villas, each home is a masterpiece, designed with precision and love. From swimming pool, gym, playground, beautiful landscaped gardens, and private balconies, making every day feel like a retreat. We also have executive plots for sale at McCarthy Hill, strategically located and offer unparalleled views, easy access to amenities, and endless possibilities for executive living. With just 5% deposit, you can reserve your space. Contact us today to learn more about our luxury homes at Mensa or executive plots at McCarthy Hill. Call us now on 0536 502295 or visit www.westernvillas.com for more information.
Hot jobs.
Tired of HR headaches? Simplify your business with Hot Jobs Africa. As your one-stop HR shop, we handle recruitment, labor outsourcing, expatriate management, consultancy services, and corporate trainings. Plus, we offer staff basing and 100% staff support to boost productivity. Don't let HR hassles hold you back. Contact Hot Jobs Africa today. Call us on 030-3980-362. WhatsApp us on 020-433-6004 or email info@hotjobsafrica.org. Visit our website www.hotjobsafrica.org. Hot Jobs Africa. Think HR, think Hot Jobs.
Hot jobs.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
It's 47 after 9. We have friends from Design and Technology Institute, DTI, Ghana's first private TVET institution. They have some great news for you. So we'll be getting into that conversation very quickly. In the meantime, if you're building big, Vaniado is ready to build with you. From high-end apartments to office blocks, hotels to private homes, Vaniado is a trusted name for premium finishes at project-friendly prices. We supply luxury bathrooms, Cavaloni kitchens and tiles that combine international quality with unbeatable value, perfect for architects, contractors, developers, and interior designers. Trust me, pass by Vaniado, you'll be blown away. The best part is they offer bulk deals, special project pricing, tailored packages to suit every skill. They don't just supply, we partner with you to deliver excellence on time and on budget. We are at the Kama Conference Center, yes, the Ring Road. Just pass by 055-000-0031. Call us and we'll take good care of you. Vaniado powering bold projects. So to the SMEs, get ready for a game changer. We are introducing Yellow Biz as our new multi-service bundle with everything you need for smarter business solutions. Is an all-in-one package. It consists of 4G plus router with 10 gigabyte of free data. We have the Microsoft Office 365, WebWiz, Unicom servers, everything you need for your communication solutions. We got them right here. So call us on 100 or 0244308111. Shoot us an email, mtnbusiness.gh@mtn.com. Terms and conditions apply. And Bold Foods is definitely the number one option for the delivery of all your favorite meals from your favorite restaurants. On Bold Foods, you get delicious medium Ghanaman wings and a bottle of Coke for just 260 Ghana cedis. We have more options and they are exclusive on Bold Foods. So download the Bold Foods app today and enjoy. GCB Bank says that they are committed to ensuring that your shares with them continue to thrive and yield positive returns, but having your accurate details in their database help them to update you regularly. So please visit any branch of theirs and get assisted to update your records. www.gcbbank.com.gh is where you can also do that. Shareholders registered on the CSD may contact their brokers for the necessary records updates to be done. GCB is your bank for life. So who do we have with us in the studio? Joseph Ofei is admissions officer. He's here with Isaac Tete. He's a welding and fabrication facilitator. And then Ebenezer Dadzi. He's a design innovation facilitator. So Joseph came with Isaac. Interesting. Yeah. And then Ebenezer is here with us as well. I'm starting with you, Joseph, because you are the admissions officer. What is DTI when we talk about it?
Okay. So good morning to your listeners. So DTI stands for Design and Technology Institute.
Okay.
Yeah. So DTI, it's a private accredited TVET institute known for producing ethical, global, and competent leaders. So at DTI, we run three main programs. That's the precision welding fabrication, the design innovation, and the entrepreneurship program.
Okay.
Yes. Now these programs runs for 18 months.
18 months.
Yes.
Okay.
Where 12 months is in-house, that's a DTI.
Right.
Then 6 months we transition you to industry for a practical attachment with industry.
So 6 months I am learning on the job, and then 12 months I'm learning on the job, and then 6 months I am off in an attachment.
Yes.
So when do you do tracer works with your graduates to know their employability and their satisfaction on the job market? What's that?
Great. So when we transition you to industry, we don't just leave you there. We are with you throughout the whole journey. So we realize that from industry, 85% of the learners after their internship are being retained in industry.
Nice.
So when they are done with their 6 months internship, 85% of them stay in industry.
Okay.
Then the rest move into self-employment. So there are some of them that want to start up their own things because of the skills they've acquired in DTI.
Yeah.
They want to move into the entrepreneurship. So with that, we don't just leave you hanging.
Right.
There are mentorship supports that we go with you to make sure that you also succeed at the end. Exactly.
And you give them seed capital when they are done with some projects.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about it.
Okay, so there is a CIP, the incubation hub. So by the time you are transitioning out of DTI, we put our students into groups to come up with creative, innovative business ideas. So they look around Ghana, what's the problem, what's the solution, and all that. So once they come up with creative ideas, so it's a competition. The best, I think the first 5 win some seed monies to help them start up those business ideas that they have. Exactly.
Wow. The other thing I like about DTI is what you call the challenge.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so DTI provide a holistic education. So we are not just giving you the hard skills. We are giving you the soft skills. We are preparing you for the world of work. Now, feedback from industry is that they want learners who are resilient, who are team players, who have good interpersonal skills, who can relate well with other colleagues and all that.
Right.
So DTI said, okay, fine. Once you come in and we are giving you the hard skills.
Because technical students there, we know you.
Exactly. We are still giving you the soft skills aspect of it.
Right.
So at DTI, if it's 7 a.m., it's 7 a.m. If class is starting at 8, it's 8. Because when I transition you to probably Citi FM to come and do your 6 months internship, and they say come to work at 8, you wouldn't get here at 8:1. Exactly.
So that sets your graduates and your learners apart from other technical students. Okay. Let me bring in Isaac and Ebenezer. So, for example, you, Isaac, are the welding and fabrication facilitator. And if anyone is listening and they are considering career options for themselves or their wards, welding and fabrication, what is that? Because in our minds, welders are by the streets. They look like the vulcanizers. That's the categorization. Yeah. So why do I have to go and study welding and fabrication when my peers are going to Tech or UCC or Legon to do, something that sounds nice?
Okay. So, the interesting thing.
Tell me.
I went to Tech.
Okay.
Studied materials engineering. So I'm a materials engineer.
Right.
But I am in welding now. Welding.
Are you serious?
Yes. I'm a certified welding inspector from UK, Cambridge.
Wow.
That's how far you can go with welding. Now let's look at our industrial landscape. Oil and gas. You can't take welding out of it.
Okay.
Power generation. You can't take welding out of it.
Okay.
Normal construction, railway lines. Look at the interchange at Circle.
True.
It has metals holding the bridge.
Correct.
And my colleague Philip was the inspector on the last one they constructed at Obiche.
Wow.
And he was the welding inspector on the project. So for us to be able to industrialize, welding cannot be overlooked. Food processing. You can't go to Nestle. They cannot produce without having welding and fabricators working over there to build their process lines.
Right.
Guinness, you still need the welding. So every area of industrialization, welding plays a key role.
And is there a ready market? Is there demand for local, professional welders?
There's a demand, but the problem is, do you have the skills that is required? If not, then they are forced to bring expatriates to do the work.
Okay.
So the reason why I came to DTI, I used to work in Takrady, operating a laboratory that served the oil and gas mining power generation. We qualify welders for industry. So what it means is that Talu has a project he has given to Awesome. Awesome needs welders. So he calls that I want to employ welders. Then the guys come in. He said, okay, I'm working according to this standard. Take a test to show that you have the competency required to work on the project. Now take the test. If you call students from the technical universities, the technical schools in Western Region, in Takrady,
they couldn't?
They won't, because one, what was the curriculum used to train them? Did the curriculum understand the requirement of those standards?
Okay.
Who was the instructor? Did he understand the requirement of those standards?
Wow.
They take the test and they don't meet the requirement of the standards.
Okay. Now I understand that DTI is doing something with an American welding something. Tell me, what's that?
So DTI is committed to the using of a responsive curriculum, a curriculum that has taken note of the trends of industry and has anticipated the future trends. And we found that the American Welding Society has a robust curriculum that will give us this. So we've signed up with the American Welding Society to implement a curriculum developed for the
American Welding Society.
So it's a professional body.
And I understand you are the only institution in Africa to have that.
In Africa to implement that curriculum.
Let me come to you, who does the design innovation. You are the facilitator, you're the HOD. What does that mean? Design innovation, what is that, and what are the career prospects?
Okay, so when you talk about design innovation in DTI, we are looking at two broad areas. We have the computer-aided design and computer-aided manufacturing.
Okay.
And then we have the multimedia section, which deals with graphic design, photography, animation, sound design, and web design.
Wow.
Now, what it means is that a learner going through this program, if the learner decides to go the multimedia way, would have to undertake all the courses within the multimedia space. So the learner will not just come out as a photographer, but a photographer who can edit, who can design flyers, who is able to do some small coding for a website.
Coding.
And yes, so the learners go through all this just to make sure the demand for them out there will be very high.
Last time I passed through DTI, the particular place where the workstation, the door was automated, and I was told the automation was done by your students. So you're doing a lot. You're teaching your children, your students, your learners, and they're fabricating a whole lot. And what excites me, as you've mentioned, is their employability when they are done with school. It's interesting. Where can DTI be found, and how do we get access to you? Do you have scholarship opportunities as well, Joseph?
Yeah, so DTI, we are located at East Legon, Mempassem.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you go on our website, dtiafrica.com, everything about us is also there. Yeah, so DTI is in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation.
Okay.
Where if you go on the website and you have a need for the scholarship, you can apply for it. You can get up to 100% scholarship. That covers your tuition, accommodation, feeding for the entire duration of the training. Yes.
Nice. What are your numbers? Tell us so we can call.
Okay, so we have 0533 3390937.
0533 3390937.
Or we have 020.
Okay.
020 22 00 000.
Okay, 020220000.
Yeah,
Great.
so you can reach us on that.
Excellent. There's so much to talk about, but we've run out of time. But you've shared the most important details about DTI with us, so we'll do well to find you on your socials, and we'll pass by at your campus at Mempassem to know more. But thank you so much. So Isaac was a facilitator of one of my wards at DTI, and he's doing so very well. So guys, thank you for passing through. Grateful. Joseph, Isaac, and Ebenezer. It's top of the hour, and Melody Fafak Patufe is here with details of the news at 10. Good morning, Melody.
Good morning, Caleb. Hello and welcome to Citi News at 10.